to rough starts before on the show. Absolutely we have. Never to this extent.
Oh, yeah, we've gotten a couple times where we weren't on air for like the first 10 minutes. So I think the chair issue is...
Okay.
We're fine.
I'm not comfortable here.
Okay.
Well, you want to try one more time raising the chairs?
It doesn't work.
Well, what happened to the one that did go up and down?
Yeah,
Is there one out in the hallway now?
They disappear. My headsets disappear. I had to go buy a new pair of headsets, too.
Oh, no way. So we're starting to deal with, like, the stuff that we've dealt with before at other places?
Well, I don't know what goes on. I'm not here.
We still have the disco headsets over here.
I bought a pair. I don't want those things. They blind everybody when I put them on. It's the light and shines in everybody's eyes.
Is there an extra chair out in the hallway right now?
I don't care. This is fine.
What did the Greg Lansky tweet say?
We looked in the other studio. None of the handles in the other studios work either. You try to pump them up and down, they just stay right where they are.
Well, something's happened to one of our chairs.
I'll get by. I'll figure it out later.
Maybe we should all just sit lower.
No, I'm good. Well, I can't really sit lower. I have to reach up to the board.
Yeah. Okay.
Can barely reach my coffee.
You're going to spill that for sure today.
We have had a spill streak going on.
I thought it was the chair, but now I just noticed I'm not wearing a hat today, and that's these
I noticed that too. It's the first time I think I've ever seen you in the studio without a hat.
What's going on with that?
The lights are in my eyes.
Oh, for heaven's sakes! Hey, have an STL Today hat.
I'm fine. I'm good.
Mark Milton sponsored hat.
There's a design.
He would love for you to wear it.
There's a design error hat.
I'm just lending it to you.
Homeland expert hat.
You're not going to wear it.
There's a lot of choices.
No, I'm fine.
There's hats over here
the mesh
that have never been worn.
Snapbacks.
No, I don't know why I just left the house and didn't put one on. Forgot.
So you don't really want a hat?
No. Well, I just noticed that these are in my eyes, and I said, why is that? Because I'm down here? No, I don't have a hat on. And I can normally... It's amazing. You don't wear a hat and people think you're dressed up. I saw Michelle Smallman walk in. She goes, you're all dressed up today. Same thing I wear every day. I don't have a hat on. So people think...
That's the difference.
So people think I'm dressed up. It's amazing. It was nice for her to say that, though.
Did you sign for her?
No, she posed for a picture.
She did.
Doug, 3-bet it.
Yeah. So there's that.
Okay. All right. Sunglasses would help you, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't wear those either.
Guys, quote unquote, I just noticed I wasn't wearing a hat. Holy effing hijacking. Jesus, that's from the 314.
Good Lord, these olds.
So every time I speak, it's a hijacking?
No.
So if I don't talk all day, then I haven't hijacked the show.
Correct. By definition.
All right, then I won't talk. I can't ever hijack the show if I don't talk.
Fish with the pout face.
If I don't,
spreading the dreary wearies all over the
It's like, so every time somebody in the day speaks, it's hijacking the show.
Oh, no.
There you go. You hijack by saying yes, no, maybe.
So.
Okay. There's the signal.
You'll know when you hijack.
Guys, I see Tom's face is posting in the YouTube chat.
Whose face?
Tom's.
Oh.
Where 145 friends of the feather are just hitting on each other left and right. Y'all listened to Pepper and Jeannie yesterday. It was essentially 20 minutes of Iggy airing out his grievances on Christine Brennan. He doesn't hold grudges, though.
Clausy had a chance to talk.
Yeah, she was one, I would say, the focal point of the
Christine
conversation.
Brennan.
Well, it was the LIV Golf topic. Brennan made her way in several times, but I don't think that was the whole episode. I hope not.
No, it wasn't. I just had a problem with her.
Thank you for downloading and listening to P&G, though.
P&G, Doug, Pepper and Jeannie.
Yeah, it's going well, I guess.
Download that app. Somehow, I don't know how we're doing it. So ESPN went from last to first.
Here we go.
Me and Iggy talked about that as...
Was that talked about on Pepper and Jeannie?
No.
In the coffee shop.
Talked about that this morning, yeah.
Break room.
I listened to a bit of WIL yesterday. They're giving away $1,000 for the winner of that.
101's giving away $1,000. An autographed Ryan O'Reilly jersey.
What?
Traeger grill. Yeah, I read the promo for the 101 ESPN app madness, and I'm going,
This is why we lose.
Yeah.
Badly. What are we giving away? You can have lunch with us or something?
I didn't know that.
Tom's face insists the Christine Brennan thing was the whole episode, and he's banty.
Oh, it wasn't.
I talked. I don't think I brought her up.
I bet you don't know who she is.
How big a factor is she in the lives of St. Louisans?
Well, we were talking about LIV Golf, and I talked about her bringing up, I thought it was unfair, her bringing up the 9/11 families to Mickelson, like he doesn't care about them. And then she did it all for her own publicity, because every tweet you saw is, Christine Brennan asked the question. She's retweeting every time her name is mentioned. I said, you're doing it for your own publicity. And
Self-aggrandizement.
The question wasn't fair, and then I just brought up that there's 23 sponsors on the PGA Tour that deal with Saudi Arabia and bring in $43 billion a year. Do you ever talk about that? No, they don't want to bring those things up. So that's what we got into. Okay. And then how maybe the PGA Tour is going to have to change, and they just did. They have 8 tournaments next year, top 50, no cuts. So it wasn't about Christine Brennan, it was about LIV Golf.
So they're just going to bring in 50 golfers?
Top 50 in the FedEx
So that's
Cup.
what, another 100 that can't try to make it?
Well, I think, Tim, I think they have opposite field events for people that aren't in the top 50, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, if you want to keep the young, amateur, up-and-comer stars, how you do it is you eliminate them from the $25 million prize pool for the 3 events.
Right.
I do not understand that whatsoever. It'll be good to watch. I just don't know if that's going to, help your young and coming stars not leave the PGA when they're, basically excused from the biggest payouts.
Yeah. There'll be some who can't get it done in the early years and maybe give up.
Yeah.
Well, I did say yesterday, I said this will be the least downloaded podcast we do because we talk golf.
No, we got Tom's face.
Yeah, you got Tom's face listening.
That's a topic you want to deal with. Yeah, be happy with everyone. We're doing them every day. There's going to be some you don't want to listen to.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You've heard us talking about Mark Hanna from Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mark and his team provide a personalized, holistic approach discussing cash flow, liquidity, debt, investments, insurance, taxes, and they pull it all together into a strategy that fits for each individual client. Start the new year off with a judgment-free conversation with Mark Hanna. Visit evergreenstl.com to learn more. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to The Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome, friends, to the program. Timothy, Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin, Vaughn. Jackson is in the studio today, Doug. Ken Strode is ill. Plowhawk is here. And KG in O-Town. And you were saying he's like a soldier at the border, standing guard anytime we need?
He's like a sentry, always ready in need. And here we are finding ourselves in need again. You know what he does? He stands on business, bro.
Oh, wow.
He stands on business, brah.
Well executed, Doug.
Thank you. Well, it'd be great to have him in. Be nice to have him in. Sorry that Iggy's under the weather. It's that time of year with a flu bug, cold bug going around. Everybody seems to get a little bit of it. I had it over the weekend. Last weekend was home.
Were you the vomit comet?
No, I didn't vomit. Just felt bad. Didn't go anywhere all weekend. A lot of it going around. So I'm sure he'll shake it off, and in the meantime, the sentry will come in and stand guard.
That's right. KG in O-Town standing guard from the Fox Seckman C6 studios.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I texted him. Iggy texted around 6:15 range. And I texted KG in O-Town. He said, I'll be in. I said, oh, look at you. So he will be in here. Fox 66.
I'm in the Kirkwood R7 stool.
Good morning, thanks. That's from Brian Henshin.
All right. Hello, Hench.
Let's see. Tim, when will the translucent one educate himself on the doggies? Got a match coming up. City just left for Florida on training, and a bunch of off-season moves. Come on, Jackson. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
Yeah, it's really on Jackson. They lost one of their best players yesterday.
Did I say something about the dogs?
I don't recall
You didn't
it.
say anything.
I'm
This is
wearing
why-
a dog's hat.
This is why everyone's so mad.
Right. So
So you just let it slide.
my silence is deafening?
I
agree
think
with that.
so.
Okay.
They lost a guy who's going back to Italy. One of the best strikers.
Giacchini?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
a good
gone.
player.
Yeah.
And are there guys who kick with both legs?
Yes. All of them.
Francesa's not educating himself. Why am I getting none? Why am I under the gun here?
It's interesting that his lack of knowledge on the MLS led him to only make about $5 million a year.
Yeah, it was a big blind spot for him.
Yeah. And here we are, full of knowledge for the beautiful game. And we live in squalor.
It's not fair.
That was my bad. It was supposed to be for Balloon Party. It was an early release from the Veiled Prophet.
Well, that was what you're saying you're my bad for, not the fact that you're coming after me for no reason?
They just thought you glossed over losing this player, and it hurts the city, and you didn't seem to care. That's what I got from it.
When the season first started last year, I thought his first name was Joe, and then his last name was Akini.
Yeah.
But that's
Joe
just his
Akini.
whole last name.
Yeah. I guess when you're in Ladue, you live in a bubble.
Yep, that's exactly right. Good for you for saying it.
Yeah.
I loved y'all basically doing a second full TMA and then some yesterday, Mr. Tim and Pringle. That made my drive to an assignment much more enjoyable. It's from Brian Henshin. Doug, yesterday, Jackson and I did this amazing program, Balloon Party, an amazing program. I had a sound story at 11:30. And then Jackson and I, because we weren't able to do a full QFT on Friday, but we did one to keep the streak alive. But Jackson was heading down I-55 to watch the Grizzlies, and was it the Clip show and the Grizzlies and then the Knicks show?
Yep.
On Friday and Saturday. And then Monday we were off for the holiday. Tuesday I had a doctor's appointment, so I couldn't do a full. I said, let's pack one in here real nice like on Wednesday. Let's give the people something special because we haven't done one in 6 days.
Yeah.
And we went, and by we, Jackson was along for the ride, went 2 hours and 56 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, my.
So I didn't leave here until 4:30.
What could you talk about for 2 hours?
I have, and the thing
56
is, if you
minutes?
said name 5 things you talked about, I don't know if I could remember them. But I believe the title of the episode is Guys Getting the Scissor Position?
Yeah.
Oh, was this about your doctor's appointment?
No, this was about a conversation I had with my wife, Janie the lesbian, Ariana Marie, and Plowhawk. His name is Jack of Spades. Is that correct?
Should be. I don't know if that's actually the name. I didn't think he liked when I called him that year.
At Billy G's in Kirkwood. Was that December of 2016?
I don't know the years, Tim.
And I was all intrigued by Ariana Marie's feelings on tribbing. And she goes, oh, when the director tells us, guys, get in the scissor position, we both roll our eyes and just like, oh, this sucks. I hope we don't get hurt again. Because it's so uncomfortable, it doesn't feel good, and they do it simply for heterosexual males who have no idea what lesbian sex is like. And I'm like, wow, that really hit close to home.
Yeah.
So that's one of the 5 things we talked
though.
about. I did.
Yeah. Doug, does that remind you of like having to do a live shot outside of spring training?
Not that similar, no. I don't think I ever did a live shot on that particular subject. I'll go back and check the files. But I don't recall one.
Maybe in the Miami days?
Well, if it happened anywhere, that would have been where it would have been.
Yeah. It was before the heat. Got to fill some up in the winter.
Yeah, we didn't have much winter down there.
Doug, you'll like this post in the YouTube chat, youtube.com/TMASTL. Pretty inspiring how Tim basically did 7.5 hours of radio. That's like all of us doing 15 hours at our job. That's from Ryan S.
I don't know.
And you wanted to give him an award?
I don't.
Well, Jackson did it too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like,
Jackson was there every step of the way. I guess not for the sound story. And then Moon does a sound story yesterday. And it started off, he emailed, like, I guess he saw you here, Plowhawk, early in the morning, right?
Yeah, it was about 6:30, I think, something like that.
And so for those who have not booked a sound story, the way that it works is once you book it and you schedule the date and whoever it is that you want to host it, you get a I don't know, it's like a maybe 10-question questionnaire, if that. It's very simple, but it helps the interviewer know what direction you would like the interview to go, and then also some just basic knowledge, and if there's anything in particular you want to talk about. So in this case, and you've had this happen a few times, Doug, where the person you're interviewing or their son, daughter didn't fill out that form, and so you're kind of flying blind. And in this case, Moon's guest yesterday didn't fill it out, and so I said to Peter Rep, yeah, this happens every once in a while. If you could just have some kind of reminder email, because we have these reminder emails to send out. Anyway, neither here nor there. So Moon didn't know who he was necessarily interviewing and any of the backstory, and then it turns out they had some kind of connection. And I get done with mine, which started a half hour later than his, and he was still going, and I think he went an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh, really?
In his sound story, which is, I believe, is that a record?
Certainly.
Is that a new report?
I've done. Yeah, anything I've produced or been involved with, we never went an hour and 50.
They usually go about an hour.
Yeah, hour. Give or take. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
It'll fly by. That's what I always tell my guests.
Yeah,
it'll fly, and it does fly by. Well, so then Jackson and I settled in, and if you would have told me we'll go about an hour and a half, I go, yeah, that's probably pretty aggressive. But 3 hours?
3 hours discussing. You don't.
I don't even know.
We had it wrapped up around an hour and 20. And then, like, Tim was about to close it down. I asked, how many cups of coffee do you drink a day? And then after that, it just took off.
You can see how that leads to another 90 minutes.
It's a wonderful topic.
You got to go in depth with that.
Because the answer can't be 2 or 3.
Well, it's messed up.
It requires a couple hours.
Right.
That's correct.
We might have spent like 3 minutes on that, and then for whatever, it just kept talking. Like, we just never stopped. It was nice.
Hello, St. Louis. You are listening to a very special edition of a one-week trial run of a show that may or may not continue after this week, depending on the quality of the show, depending on the sleep habits of the host, and depending on the interest level of advertising for sponsoring it.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, nothing could be more direct. Similar to marathon runners putting 26.2 stickers on their car, let's get some TMA stickers representing Tim's hours spent broadcasting in, Doug, is it homage or homage?
I usually say homage.
To Tim's greatness. That's from Eric and Hees.
Come on, Eric.
In the Central West End, and you played Native American ball
I
with
played
his
Indian
father.
ball with his dad.
Shh, I'm only 45 minutes into listening to yesterday's QFTA. Daddy needs some good listening material. You like that instead of material?
No,
you like material?
I don't like it.
I kind of do.
For on the way home, P.S. Iggy playing golf rivals on full sound is peak Iggy. No self-awareness whatsoever. Perfect. Okay, there's a second thing we talked about.
Yeah.
I guess on the way, I wonder how we got on that topic. On the way home, sky pigging.
We were talking sky pigging.
On the way home from Jamaica, I didn't realize this, Doug. We were all on the same flight. Plowhawk, you were probably sitting with Madison. I was sitting with Anna Marie. But Jackson was lucky enough to be sitting next to Iggy. And Iggy, as it turns out, was playing golf rivals not with headphones or AirPods in, but on full volume in the midst of the entire plane.
So
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That was a jinx.
Yeah. We were aisle to aisle, so I was on one aisle, and then he was on the other aisle. And there he was, just legs crossed, playing
No
golf.
shoes on either, Doug.
Golf.
Oh, barefoot?
Well, no. We were cutting it close in terms of getting to the flight, and I guess he ran from TSA to the actual plane shoeless. It's kind of like a protest, it kind of felt like. Because what does it take, 30 seconds to put your shoes on, if that?
And you could see in his face, like, he contemplated missing the flight for a cigarette. He was like,
Yeah, he didn't get a dart in between.
yeah, he was a little curious.
KG.
KG in O-Town,
look
Doug
who's
has just
here.
made his presence known.
Century has arrived.
Yeah, the Century.
Hello, KG.
Good.
KG, you know how he could really get a gold star? Gold star for Kurt would be Diora Baird. And I know he's efforting it, but I don't know if he's starting to feel like he might need to concede that it's not going to happen. KG in O-Town, do you have your headphones on and mic on, the whole thing?
Yeah, we're live back here.
Fox Seckman, C6 Studios, Diora Baird update.
I'm not going to lie to the audience. It's not going well.
What is the problem? Because Doug's getting a little pissed.
I'm not. I don't care.
Well, the number that I have has bared no fruit. So the number was a dead end.
Wordplay.
And then I've followed up via some direct messages, which have also gone unanswered. But alas, he persists.
You like that third person right there?
No, I didn't think that was necessary.
I can't imagine she's getting many requests for radio interviews or really any inquiries about her OnlyFans life. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would agree with that.
I told her we wanted to talk about Cobra Kai.
Nice.
Don't most of these porn stars make
Trojan horse.
themselves pretty easily available?
Tell Ella Reese that.
Don't they put up a contact information or something?
They
so
have
if you
agents,
want to
actually.
pay them? Or?
They have agents. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they would like publicly post any contact info because that would just be filled with pictures of gentlemen's love.
No.
How great would it be to open up your DMs and see a nice limp ween?
Well, we've seen that on the text line a few times.
Mark McGuire's.
Yeah.
There's like a cottage.
Probably on its way in right now.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think the rating system is a pretty big cottage industry.
Nielsen.
That and, guys sending in pictures of their love. And then,
Oh, look, there's Mark McGuire's penis.
and people rating them. And I think some of them like it when you give them a bad rating.
That's correct.
Really?
I
a
think
dummy
Lisa
subby.
Ann told us that, or maybe Caden told us that the kink there, and we don't kink shame, as you know, is you want to be told you have a small ween.
How sad is your life when that's your goal?
And I want to make it clear, you pay like $25 to get that.
That's a cock. Couldn't we provide that service?
That's
for
what I'm
some
saying.
gentlemen?
That's what I'm saying.
Is that a knock on the door?
No,
Or is that you just
I
you were like
was-
Bill Clinton's speech?
Yeah, yeah, I'm feeling very demonstrative today. Yeah, I don't see why we don't. We need to start selling foot pics and rating love.
All right, I guess we can do that if you
Sell
want
our
to.
own foot pics or someone else's feet?
Preferably ours would probably be easier.
Todd.
Yours specifically, Doug.
I'm telling you, the soiled underwear game.
That's another one too.
That's a
Small
game?
market, but that market yields a bunch of sads with a ton of money.
Really?
Now, why would
Oh,
SADs
yeah.
have a lot of money?
I don't know. I can't correlate. I can't decide what exactly.
Are these
brings-
people from faraway lands and a different culture and a different set of beliefs?
Not
maybe?
all of them, no.
Well,
I
I-
just know the panty game is strong.
Yeah, like Paul Giamatti's character in Billions, Chuck Rhodes.
And what was his kink?
Very big into
BDSM.
big into BDSM, and he was like what, the DA? He was like a very successful attorney.
It's a TV show, Jackson.
Right, but I'm just saying that anybody
Not
can
necessarily.
have that kink. Like, I don't think your kink or fetish interest correlates to your success in the professional realm.
I don't know.
I think there's probably some very successful people who like buying soiled underwear.
I don't know about that.
It is.
I don't know. I think most very successful people have probably limited number of time to collect soiled underwear.
You gotta be efficient. Don't get me wrong. You can't spend all day on it, but everyone has some
It
leisure
seems
time.
like a thing for the sads, though, doesn't it?
I
if
feel
you're
like
really-
we're getting a little close to kink shaming.
Well, I kink shame all the time.
Nate in Tallahassee says the following, and I had never heard this theory before. Maybe it's not a theory. Maybe it's an actual proof. Sads have a lot of money because they're fat, ugly, work in tech, and have no women to spend their money on. Doug, that's from Nate in Tallahassee.
They're fat, they're ugly, and they have no time, no women to spend their money on.
well,
That's
yeah.
correct.
If you're in tech, you're probably making a lot of money,
Yeah.
and so if you've been your entire life, working on software, you're probably not outside much.
Speaking of fat, I saw a video today of President John Kennedy in a speech saying there is nothing more horrible than seeing fat, chubby children.
No way.
And I thought, man,
you
if
sure
he
this
had-
wasn't like an AI
No, it was him, because it's when he started the President's Council on Physical
fitness?
Fitness.
Yeah.
That was his launching speech.
Well, if Twitter were around, I would have had my burners active on him
Oh,
to try to
God,
get him
yeah.
removed from office for that.
That was disrespectful.
Yes.
Now we're into the 21st century. They had videos of all the high school kids were required to do at least, I think, 16 push-ups was the minimum you could do.
I remember that. We had that at St. Gabriel.
Yeah.
What was that called?
The President's Council on Physical
Presidential
Presidential fitness test.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
did the
Yeah.
I
pacer.
still had that.
We had to take it.
Yeah.
My day.
We didn't have the
Sit and
rope
reach.
climbing.
We used to get a little badge if you passed.
I didn't like the box to where you put your feet on the box and
Sit
you
and
had to,
reach.
reach.
Yeah, sit and reach.
I didn't have like the. I wasn't good at that.
Yeah, well, not everybody's
Doesn't
expected to
remember.
do everything. What you are expected to do is something. Get out and get yourself as physically fit as you can. It's because it's good for your mind as well. But I just thought that would have been totally politically incorrect in this day and age
Awesome.
for a president to say
Certainly
there's nothing more
saying,
horrible
like-
than fat, chubby children.
Right.
KG No Town, can you find that by chance?
The Kennedy clip?
Yeah.
I'll effort it.
I would love to hear it.
All right, I'm on it.
Because I think the statement itself probably wouldn't fly as much, but the actual act of like saying we need to get more physically fit,
You can
I
say
think
that,
that's fine.
yeah.
Like Michelle Obama made the school lunch thing way, like when I was in high school, school lunch got way different from when I started high school to when I ended high school.
Yeah, they got rid of the vending machines.
Vending machines, a lot of the saturated fats out. Yeah, school. It wasn't tasty, I can tell you that much, but it was much better for you.
KG in O-Town, did you just reschedule a sound story?
Not that I'm aware of. I was supposed to have one this afternoon at 3.
Yes, it still is.
So if anything's changed, I wasn't aware of that yet.
I just was hoping that because you came in as our sentry, is that what you call it?
Sentry, yeah.
That you didn't reschedule because of that.
No, of course not.
No. I mean, I just got the email from our little.
I got the
system.
Kennedy clip.
Oh, you got it?
I just found it on Twitter.
All right, here we go. Let's take a listen.
Fingers hawk.
There is nothing, I think, more unfortunate than to have soft, chubby, fat-looking children. I hope that all of you will join, and everybody in the United States, to make sure that our children participate fully in a vigorous and adventurous life which is possible for them in this very rich country of ours.
Yeah. We didn't say horrible, he said unfortunate.
Why did he put that haunting music behind it?
It was,
Someone else did that.
I found it on Twitter. I didn't get to cue it up.
I think Pierre Solinger did that.
J.D. Salinger.
Oh, Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah. Holden Caulfield.
Well, Pierre was in his cabinet or something.
Darnell Coles was, I know that.
Henry Cabot Lodge might have had a hand in that.
The Walrus King says that chubby speech is what got him assassinated. He said that
It
on
is
YouTube chat.
not.
Have you ever seen that? Has that been
No.
is that a podcast?
At the time, everyone said, well, sure, you're absolutely right. Not today. We'd say, what? Our kids need to be fatter. Have another taco, Henry.
That's cool.
Henry's a fat kid.
I call him Hank.
I like watching the President's TMA Council on eating at TMA Live events. It's an elite showmanship on being fat. That's from Eric, and he's in the Central West End.
I don't know what makes him think that.
This is all about government control. When you keep the population fat and sickly, they're easier to control. Conspiracy with the government, big food, and big pharma. That's from Zach's wife, Gummy, Doug.
I don't know that it's a conspiracy. It's something that just happened.
That kind of ends the conversation.
Yeah, food companies wanted to sell their product, and they make it tastier with lots of sugar.
Right. Cheaper with
advertise it.
GMOs.
Yeah. Fast food restaurants on every corner.
Yeah.
But how come kids all over the world are so fat, and not just in the United States?
Well, they're not. They're not. I think we're by far the most. Well, there are some other countries. Like Samoa, they really struggle with
we did
being
this
overweight.
last week. All the countries that were ahead of us were like small island countries.
Glove blogger Tom Traven monitors this program and says that clip hits close to home for this Tier 3 city. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
I know there are some. I think there are some high schools. They barely have PE anymore. They do very little.
Really? I did every semester.
I'm not sure kids change in the sweat clothes anymore or gym clothes anymore and run vigorously and take showers. I did that all the way through school.
We didn't do the showers.
Definitely
then.
didn't do showers.
We had the option of PE or physical training. So most of the athletes did physical training because it was just weightlifting pretty much.
Yeah.
Just weightlifting regiments. You had like the strength and conditioning teacher there. So you had to be active. Now in PE you can stand in the corner and do nothing. Certainly that's an option.
Well, you shouldn't let kids do nothing. You don't let them do nothing in any other classes. When the weather's nice, they should all be, at the very least, going around the track, walking, jogging, running, whatever they can do. And when the weather's not nice, you can do things indoors that work up a sweat.
Eric in the Central West End agrees with Zach's wife Gummy on the theory, and he says Zach's wife Gummy is 100% accurate. So there it is, Doug.
What was the theory again?
The theory from Zach's wife Gummy was the following. This is all about government control. When you keep the population fat and sickly, they're easier to control. Conspiracy with government, big food, and big pharma. That's from Zach's wife Gummy. And Jackson, you and Eric in the Central West End are usually in lockstep, so I gather that you agree.
Yeah. Yep. He's, whenever I look for anything.
You do agree with that?
I go right to Eric in the Central West End.
I think that's what's happened, but I don't think they had a conference at one point in the 60s and said, enough of these people that are all physically fit. Let's get our kids chubby so we can control them. I don't think that happened.
Mr. Lick says, I've been preaching this for years. Like I said, not all women should wear Lululemon, but all should strive to.
What?
Well, He's saying that all should strive to get in shape.
I kid you not. My 14-year-old has a walking class. That's from Mayor Don.
Yeah, God, slow
Sounds
down.
like he's a freshman
Slow
at
down.
Christian Brothers College.
I was told at my age walking isn't enough to get in shape. I told my doctor once, I'm walking 2 or 3 miles a day. He says, that's not enough. He says, you got to get your heart rate up.
Yeah.
You got to do vigorous exercise, not just walking.
5Ks were invented for the fats to feel like they accomplished something athletic. That's from the Hunchback 1K. Is that true? They announced
I don't think so. 5K
Are the
is still
stickers
not
keeping
easy.
people
Yeah, it's-
skinny? Is that what it is?
3 miles.
That's not easy.
If you're running 3 miles every day, that's good.
That's good. Yeah, not a lot of people doing 5Ks that are in horrible shape.
No. I mean, if you're doing it, like if you're not just like walking it.
You do see people running marathons that you think, maybe you do need to stop at McDonald's and get yourself a cheeseburger.
Yeah. Distance runners for sure.
But those are the people, most of them, that will live to be 100 years old.
Yeah, 100%.
Today is Munganass Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown Day. Doug, you won this past week at the Sony. Iggy won the opening event at Kapalua. When Iggy sent the text saying he was going to be ill today, I asked if he could send over his roster. Did he send them over?
I have not received them yet.
All right.
You texted him like a minute after he texted you. He couldn't be falling back asleep.
You got to do some research, though.
So,
because JT posted, he's not a very good putter.
Yep.
That changes things.
So, I don't know how to handle the situation because the boys tee off in Palm Springs here in about 2.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, maybe Jackson could randomly pick a team for him.
But then it'll be...
Well, they'll be...
He'll complain.
Here's what's going to happen. Iggy's not going to send a team in. He's going to get pissed when he loses because he's going to have random players, and it's going to be somebody's fault.
Yeah.
Wow. Pepper and Jeannie knows.
Oh, I love Iggy. I could tell what the listeners are going to
Like
do.
Steve Nash seeing the play happen before it happens.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah.
How about that, Doug? You hear that?
You can't move the rock like that unless you can see a couple steps ahead.
Well, what do we do? What will we do?
I like the idea of KG and those down picking a team that Iggy doesn't.
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I would really
and
like
then watch it win like
that's what I'm
10 grand or something.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it has like the best week of all. Oh.
If he wins, it'll make him mad, and if he loses, it'll make him mad.
Yep.
Sounds like a great idea.
Win-win.
Let's see. Tim, I'll fill in. JT, Minwoo, Tyler Duncan, Troy Merritt, and Sun JM. Thanks for covering alcoholic. Boy, that moved the segment along a little quicker.
Sure did. There's your team.
Munganass, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour and this controversial daily fantasy sports showdown online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. The presenting sponsor of Balloon Party and the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Jackson, beware, I don't have anything on the schedule today. We could do a 6-hour QFTA today.
Heard that.
T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com for your questions, comments, and erotic stories. We had an erotic story yesterday that Jackson said, let's save this and read it for Iggy and the Plowboy to see if they will believe it's real, but Iggy's not here, and I don't feel like we would have the same effect, because Iggy's usually the one to say that these things aren't real.
Yeah, he can stuff it out.
Yeah, he does. Sniff it out.
No.
It was an erotic story in which a gentleman was called to an airport hotel to impregnate a lesbian couple.
Both of them. Both of them?
No, just one.
Just one.
Well, the other one messed around with her female partner.
No. There was fluffing
And
going on.
he was told when he went to their, or I guess it wasn't a hotel, they lived by an airport hotel. And then he went to use the little wizard's room because he said one of them looked like a gentleman with breasts. So he had to like talk himself
not uncommon.
into, pull it together, boy, pull it together, boy, pull it together, boy. And then he goes and they yell, don't flush the toilet, our toilet's backed up. And I would imagine that'd have a negative
that's
impact
hot.
on your...
The hotel toilet?
No,
was
at
back?
the house. They lived by an airport hotel. Eminent domain.
I wonder if that happens frequently.
Where gentlemen are called to impregnate a lesbian couple at an airport
I guess it's
hotel?
easier just to get a sperm donor, though, right? Than
Neighborhood.
have to go
David
through-
Crosby.
Well, theoretically, if you're like a lesbian and, you know, sexual orientation is a spectrum, but like if you're a full-on lesbian, the idea of a gentleman and you having sex would not be appealing.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you would go.
But if you were bisexual and you just chose to live with another woman,
You fell in love with a woman.
and you had a guy come
Janie, you
over,
want to touch?
Be
if you had
cheaper.
a guy, it wouldn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would cost to go through a sperm bank or something, artificial insemination.
I don't know.
That's probably, I imagine, very expensive.
Yeah. Would agree.
Girls love sex.
So maybe that's what Iggy could do to make an extra buck or two.
Sell his seed.
A seed demon.
Well, you reach a certain age where they're not really that interested in it.
Ken Strode, I moonlight as a seed demon.
I'm not sure that the sperm banks are accepting deposits from people in their 60s. Probably
right?
not. Probably not.
What's the cutoff?
Probably 40-something, I would think.
And then there's some form of genetic engineering, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this gentleman's 6'5", has a wet jumper.
It's Devin Booker.
They can tell just by looking at the sperm whether you're keeping your right elbow in when you shoot.
That's right. That's right.
Triple threat.
You gotta use a microscope, but
I guess.
Yeah, Doug, you gotta get with the times, man.
Okay, sorry.
KG, 10 of you assembled your team.
I have, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Munganaz Daily Fantasy Sports
He's
Showdown.
gonna text in like 10 minutes.
Iggy not available to respond to the text about sending his team in, but the show must go on, Doug.
Okay.
And you are coming off of a win. That means you have the box, which means you have the honors.
Okay.
And now it's on to Palm
Now
Springs.
it's on to Carnoustie. Let's see. First pick. I only want one. Okay, I've got one now. Looks like a bad one. Old Harry Hall. Harry Hall? Harry Hall. Harry Hall.
Start.
Never
He's
heard
a
of him.
British gentleman. Is he not?
I don't know who he is.
That sounds right.
KG, I know you've done a lot of research. What do you think's the most important statistic this week?
Greens in regulation.
I agree.
Well, that's why I picked Harry Hole with the number one pick.
Harry Hole.
All right, your first pick, sir.
All right, well, I'm going to start in the 6,000s, and this is a guy that I've heard of, I think, and I'm going to go with the 6,700. I'm going to go with Tyler Duncan.
Tyler Duncan.
Tyler Duncan.
Breaking
All right.
the tray.
Tyler Durkin.
Okay, let me see if I can pick one. I can barely reach it. I've got one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, this feels like a good one. No, it isn't. Jacob Bridgman.
Who are these people and why are they chirping?
Bridgman.
Jacob Bridgman.
Are you sure this isn't a member guest in Florida this weekend?
Could well be.
Bridgman.
Harry Hole and Jacob Bridgman are my first two choices.
Hell is that?
Just who I wanted.
This could be a great moment of bonding for KG and O-Town and Iggy if KG and O-Town can lead him to
You
victory.
could win one for him, yeah.
Yeah, KG, it's your second pick.
I'm gonna go in the 7,500. This is a guy that he went 65, 69, 65 to wrap up the week in Maui.
Oh.
And he's made the cut in both of his previous appearances at the American Express. Finished T6 last year. Eric Van Rooyen.
Oh, wow.
Van
I gotta
Rooyen.
tell you, there's a little buzz about Eric Van Rooyen this week. Somebody's doing research back there.
This KG. Boy,
Yeah.
seems to know what he's doing. Let's see if maybe I can get Eric Van Rooyen.
Yeah.
Let's see who I got. Sanjay M.
Oh, that's a nice play.
Sanjay M.
Maybe it's a little chalky, but you've certainly diversified that lineup with the selection of Harry Hole and Jacob Bridgman.
10,100.
For my third pick, I'm going to go with a guy. He's had some success here before. Last year, finished second with he dueled John Rahm down to the finish. 7,600. Davis Thompson.
Davis Thompson. Okay.
Doug, how will you respond to that?
Boy, I don't know. I better get somebody else pretty good. Let me see if I can reach the box. Thank you, Plowsy. Okay, I think I have one now. Old Chris Kirk.
Chris Kirk has been on a heater here as of late. I mean, he
9,000.
won in Kapalua. He was lurking this past week at the Sony. Wow, you're sharp.
Yeah, he's kind of cucking me here because my next pick was going to be Chris Kirk.
Oh, wow.
gosh.
Are you pivoting?
I'm going to stick him out if Doug's okay with that.
Sure. Pick who you want to pick.
Wow, the passion.
Okay. Okay. Plowsy, the box, please. Okay. Let me moisten my fingers so I can pick just one and not 15 of them together. Yes, I have it. Who did I get? Justin Thomas.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
9,800.
Wow, started with Harry Hole, and you've
Yeah, you mounted a Sunday charge here.
kind of a big deal, though.
I mean,
see.
probably not a lot of room, I would imagine, after Sungjae and JT.
7,700.
7,700 left? All right. God.
Okay.
You get Billy Ho.
Okay.
For my next pick, I like guys that can putt, and
JT Post.
I've heard that this guy was recently elected the best putter ever, and I'm going to go with JT Poston.
JT Poston, best putter ever. There was an election.
Yeah.
This really
Holy
does feel like an
crap.
Iggy lineup. I feel like I've written these names down for him a lot.
Yeah, it's very similar. Okay, I'm on my last pick. Let's see what we have. Lanto Griffin.
Lanto Griffin, he's been bouncing around in between tours, has he not? He's had some problems. He's not had some problems. Ah, yes.
Problems.
You had.
So he fits in, I assume. I
Yes.
assume he's now
Iggy,
66.
Doug leaves 1,100 on the board, but he's got Sungjae, JT.
Sharp lineup.
Pretty solid. I bet I know where KG's going on this next one.
Well, I got a little money to play around with here.
Yep.
There's 4 players that are priced over 10,000 this week. When they zig, I want to zag.
Nice game theory.
Australian.
Game theory season.
I think a lot of people are going to be looking at Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, and that's why I'm going to go with Sungjae M.
Sungjae.
Oh,
Well, you guys
I
have
got
two
him
of the
too.
same players.
Okay. Well,
I thought you were going to go Min Woo.
No, he's not cute enough.
okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
there are the
laps around.
teams. Thank you, Munganess, for sponsoring this fabulous game.
Yeah, Jamie Burkhardt. StLouisAcura.com, AltonToyota.com, and then there's a secret number, 314-252-0029. Doug, last time I was at a Ferdy Clinny, Nurse Steve was kind of hot and winked at me, so I asked for a bigger cup. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville in Webster Grove.
He was at a furry clinic? Is that what it was?
Ferty, as in like fertilization.
Oh, Ferdy Clinic. Okay.
And he was attracted to the nurse named Steve,
Oh,
so he felt like he needed a bigger cup. to
oh
deposit.
gosh. He's vile.
Iggy is going to absolutely hate that KG and O-Town picked 2 of the same players as Doug. That's from Gary Pinkel's cell phone etiquette.
Well,
He'll hate it, whatever happens. There's going to be some hate spewed.
It's the way the box goes. I like your team, Doug.
Well, thank you. You like Harry Hole?
Flip that off. Too Fat to Kayaks in the YouTube chat and says, if KG wins big this week, Iggy will never live it down. That's from Too Fat to Kayak.
I think it's more likely that I fall flat on my face and he relishes that moment.
And then is able to blame you.
yeah, I have a feeling that he won't want this one counted towards the...
Probably. If he, yeah.
I was under the impression it was for the kids, though.
Well, it is. It's for the
If
children.
it wins, though.
It's for the children of our community. I just want the best for them.
Wasn't Palm Springs, La Quinta? What's
Yeah.
PGA West? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they changed it now to Pete Dye something, though.
Okay.
It used to be the stadium course.
Got it.
That is correct. Jackson has been on. Nobody has been more outspoken in national media than Jackson Burkett on Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles. And what is your position, Jackson? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Sure. I just think a conversation needs to be had about Nick Sirianni's job status with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the fall from
Huge
grace,
news in St. Louis.
Super Bowl contender,
Huge.
to out in the first round to the measly Buccaneers,
Yeah.
whether it's in Tampa or not, is unacceptable. And
Whether the game in Detroit will be played outdoors or not is
right, that's they'll just peel the roof right off. And if no one's going to speak up for the city of brotherly love in the Midwest, then I will.
Fletcher Cox responded to a reporter yesterday, Doug, in Philadelphia, while the Eagles cleaned out their locker room regarding the job status of Nick Sirianni. Why don't we take a listen?
Have you gotten any wind on what's going to happen to Nick, and you have confidence in if you do come back, that confidence in him if he's also the head coach?
Like any news about what about Nick?
Nick, I mean, there's obviously some speculation about whether he may be fired or not.
Huh?
Yeah.
Come on, man. No, man, he head football coach of this team, man. Come on, man. There ain't even no discussion about that.
Okay,
Man.
okay, you don't think it's going to
Like,
happen?
I don't got nothing to say about that, man. You're a clown, bro. Get out.
Oh, you're a clown, bro.
You're a clown, bro. Get out of my face, bro.
Right across the street from where I believe that's a clown question, bro, happened. Although Harper might have been with the Nationals
think
when that
he was,
happened. Was
yeah.
it? Yeah, but Doug, the link is right across from the street from Citizens Bank.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, so Harper with the clown question, bro. Fletcher Cox just changed it a little bit. You're a clown, bro.
And then says, get out of my face.
Oh.
How would you like to be a reporter pulling in the money they pull in and have Fletcher Cox just rip you?
I mean, you have to ask these players that question. It wasn't that controversial. I mean,
The question was kind of hard to understand, but he was saying if the coach gets fired, are you still going to be okay with it? Is that?
yeah.
Was that basically the question?
I would have just asked him what were your thoughts on the rumor that your coach may be fired. I think that's probably an easier way to say it.
Yeah. It's always easier to rephrase a question after you've already been ripped.
It's like missing a putt and then hitting it a second time now that you know what it does.
Second guy's scratch.
Guys, that reporter was pissing his pants. That's from Chairman Steve, and he's over in Wildwood.
Hello, world. Welcome to the Bonita Show. I am here at Fat Buddha Studio.
That's when you start over.
Didn't they do it live?
I don't think that was live.
No,
it was on a public access program at 2 in the afternoon. Doug, you love the program White Lotus.
I did like that.
Oh,
You
wow,
did?
really?
I did watch it, yeah.
Both seasons?
I saw the second season.
The Italy one?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see Sydney Sweeney then?
No, I saw Aubrey
Plaza, yeah.
I don't think Sydney Sweeney was in that episode.
Jackson, who would you rather engage in heavy petting with?
Sydney Sweeney or Aubrey Plaza? Sydney Sweeney, and it's like not even a question.
Wow, I apologize. That's a clown question, bro?
Yeah, get out of my face.
So they have announced they are doing a third season, and the cast is out. We have that information here. It's a TMA exclusive. Doug from The Righteous Gemstones with John Goodman, friend of the Afton Cougars.
Uh-huh.
Walton Goggins.
Love Walton Goggins.
What makes him so wonderful?
Did you ever see Hateful Eight?
The Hateful Eight. I don't know if
He's
I have.
good in everything.
Yeah, Walton Goggins is great. He's also in Django.
I love that.
Yeah, he plays the guy who says, "I'm going to be walking in the moonlight with you."
Nice.
And then Django throws him off his horse.
Sarah Catherine Hook.
Sarah Catherine Hook.
I'm surprised you hadn't researched this yet.
I saw, I don't want to step on one, but I know one that I'm very excited is going to be in it.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, because I haven't seen this person in something in a very long time, and I'm excited to see her again.
Huh.
That can't be Sam Nivola, then, can it?
Sam Nivola?
Sounds like a fellow.
No, I don't know her.
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, know him.
And sex education breakout star Amy Lou Wood.
Amy Lou Wood.
Amy Lou Wood.
I thought this show made money.
I don't know Amy Lou Wood.
These
Well,
are
I mean,
kind of-
she has 2 million followers on Instagram, so.
So she's somebody. I saw the hotel when I was there on vacation.
The one in Sicily?
Yeah. But the show was so hot at the time, they wouldn't let you walk in. And
Oh, is that right?
Because they had guards out there and the
Really?
gates shut and everything.
It looked pretty small. It's not. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's not
boutique
huge.
hotel,
Yeah,
right?
not huge.
Looked beautiful though.
It is.
Right there on the coast of.
Yeah.
This news arrives 2 weeks after HBO announced Harry Potter alum Jason Isaacs, Michelle Monaghan, Parker Posey.
There it is.
Wow.
Parker Posey.
No, it was Parker Posey.
Did you ever see Dazed and Confused?
Probably not.
What about Best in She?
No.
Parker Posey is awesome in Dazed and Confused. She's like really mean to all the freshmen. It's really funny.
Dude, she's so funny in that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you're all excited about a 55-year-old woman as a 25-year-old gentleman.
Well, I love Dazed and Confused. Like I could
What about
watch.
Best in Ship?
I don't know if I've ever seen Best in Ship.
Oh my God! For a cinephile,
Was that
to not see like the Christopher Guest series of
just
movies?
Watched that like a month ago.
Waiting for
Insane,
Guffman,
dude.
Best in Show, A Mighty Wind,
It's so funny.
and it would absolutely appeal to you. I don't think it would like if we recommended Best in Show on Balloon Party. I don't know if it'd get a real high approval rating.
It's about dogs,
you would-
right?
Oh, dude,
Well, it's not really about dogs. I mean, I
Right,
suppose
that's like
that's the
the-
backdrop.
right.
It's one of Rich Gould's favorite pictures.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of like the Tenenbaums.
Royal
Royal
Tenenbaums.
Tenenbaums, like
Wes.
how that's like so awkward and funny and
Wes Anderson, baby.
so good.
Yeah.
Doug, it's Wes Anderson, baby.
Okay.
Well, Dazed and Confused is like one of my favorite movies, and Parker Posey's great in it. So I'm really excited
And
to see her.
Parker Posey is a woman.
That's right.
Parker sounds like a gentleman's name.
It's true.
I'm
fair.
thinking Parker Stevenson.
Huh. Tony Parker.
Think about that.
Wes Parker. Dave Parker.
Cobra, you should have saved that one.
I don't know anything about these people.
Cardinal hitting
You don't
coach in
know Dave
1998?
Dave Parker, something. Yeah, like 1 year because
Yeah.
he wanted to be more visible for his Hall of Fame.
Oh, is that right?
Possibilities.
I didn't know that.
I think so. He
And
wanted
25 years later, he's still trying to get in.
He wanted to stay in the game. He should be. He was the best player going there.
I
for
wonder
2
what the
or 3
deal with
years.
that is. There's
I
a
don't
real
know.
there's a real strong push for the Cobra to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't know. He was certainly good enough.
Amy Lee Wood has beaver teeth. Thanks. That's from Walrus King. Jackson.
Well, I had those as a child myself.
I still have them.
2 giant big buck teeth right
too.
in front.
Oh,
I could open a can with those things.
Stephen Wildwood just fired Jackson from goodorbad.com. I don't know why, but you're going.
For not seeing Best in Show, I can't see everything. I have like a big blind spot from 99 to 02. Like I've seen some of those movies, but like that's a weird time where like I missed a bunch. Obviously.
Steve doesn't have that authority anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you are the chairman, are you not?
Yeah, I mean, Steve Jobs got fired from Apple a couple times, but I'm not public, you know. I still keep it. My IPO is coming.
As soon as the monetization strategy is revealed.
And a coin launch. Boy coin.
You're doing something called Boy Coin?
Well, you know, we had meetings.
Oh.
It's like a Q4 thing. Just
Virtual
kind of waiting out
money
this
from
crypto,
TMA.
thing, seeing if it's a bubble or not.
Also in the YouTube chat, they're saying the 10-year-old audio clip from yesterday deserves further discussion, and it just so happens that there's an actual article in today's links about this. CBS's Ian Eagle amused after old clip resurfaces and goes viral, and it happened right here on this program about 24 hours ago. CBS sports commentator Ian Eagle is among the most beloved in his field. The 2023 Awfully recipient for best commentator, that's from Awful Announcing, Doug, has often delivered on every sport he's asked to call, whether it's American football, college basketball, or the NBA. The Bird is one of a kind. An old clip of the esteemed broadcaster recently emerged and went viral. The clip featured a quote-unquote spat between Eagle and his former Yes Network colleague and famed color commentator Mike the Czar Fratello. While it went viral, Eagle stayed quiet. The Bird has emerged again, though, as he spoke to Sports Illustrated's Jimmy Trania about the incident. Quote, "I'm amazed at the shelf life of this bit," Eagle told me Wednesday. "I woke up in Portland to 40 texts and thought something serious happened. A clip of me using the term gobbledygook with Fratello 13 years ago going viral is not what I had on my 2024 bingo card. It's funny, but also sad." According to the man himself at the time, it was all sarcastic humor. Eagle told the New York Daily News then every bit of that was a put-on, not 40%, not 70%. It was 100% busting each other's chops. We do it every game. That unfortunately appeared to get lost in the shuffle amid the clip taking off, but such is life on the internet in 2024. You're only as good until the next time you might go viral. Even if you do, sometimes the real information can get lost in the thick of the shuffle.
No, got me. I was real groggy, and I was reading Twitter in bed. I didn't have all my facilities with me. I was just kind of.
Had you just made love?
No. Woke up, dolo, just me, and
Dolo?
Solo dolo.
What's the dolo mean?
I always, it's a Kid Cudi song. I think Day and Night.
No.
You don't like Cudi?
I don't know who it is.
Okay, fair enough.
Day and night. 2008?
I don't know the years either.
2007. That beat's really awesome. Either way, no, I woke up alone, and I was reading Twitter, and I was just groggy, and I saw that, and it made me chuckle that Ian Eagle seemingly was getting in some beef with his commentator. I didn't even look. I didn't even think of a possibility that it was an old clip.
No.
So it's on me. It's on me. Listen, it's on me. I think it's still a great night and still a great clip.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good clip. I don't know if that makes it a great night. But the fact that you were solo dolo and fairly heartbroken because of that is probably a bigger story.
It's a weekday. You know?
You can't get lucky every night, not if you're going to watch movies all day long.
Well, I mean, I wake up pretty early.
What time is your alarm, boy?
First one goes off 4:45.
Oh.
Feet on the floor like 5:15. I read Twitter and Instagram until then.
What a terrible way to start the day.
Well, it's my life.
Hey, I'll be the simp.
Yo.
When you were groggily scrolling Twitter about this 12-year-old story, did you just wake up after being face down in your pillow and ass up all night? Doug, that's big tough.
Yeah, that's how I sleep.
I'm still concerned about you sleeping face down in the pillow.
I'm all right.
I'm afraid you can't breathe, and I think it's going to be bad on your neck.
Certainly the latter. I can definitely breathe because I wake up alive.
Are you concerned that, and I know you won't do this until you're married, but if you were to find a love interest and you truly were into this lass, that the first time you guys share chambers, she sees you sleeping with your face buried in the pillow and your ass up, yearning to be pegged.
Oh.
That this will concern her.
No, not in the slightest.
Are your knees up? It's that high up in the air? like you're sleeping on your knees? Like sometimes a little baby will do?
Like I look like a tent? No. It's flat. Yeah, completely flat.
Okay. And how do you breathe exactly? Is your mouth below the pillow
That's
proper?
right. That's you nailed it. So like my nose is on the edge of the pillow, and then my mouth is underneath. I create like a little air hole.
Oh,
like a whale.
Yeah, it's kind of like how an ostrich would sleep. Buried head sand, something like that. How they breathe? They figure it out.
Are they sleeping when they put their head in the sand?
Couldn't tell you. Ostriches really scare me.
I figured they were looking for worms or something. They just bury down there every now.
Could be the case. You ever see an ostrich up close?
Yeah.
God, they're scary.
Yeah.
A terrifying animal.
Well, flightless bird.
Whatever. Still fast.
I don't think they do a lot of damage to humans, though.
Either way, I'm not concerned about anyone seeing me sleeping like that.
Good.
At least Ann saw it.
She did see it? What did she say about it?
Concerned.
Did she really?
Yeah. She was like, I'm nervous that you're going to pass away. I was like, I do it every night.
Do you ever wake up and toss and turn because you've...
Mm-mm.
Do you wake up in that position?
No, I usually wake up on my side.
Best in Show is one of the greatest comedies of all time. Peep it, Jackson. That's
Right.
a Junior the Juice Man.
Put it on my list. Put it on my list.
Yeah, I mean, if Rich Gould likes it.
Yeah, I love Rich Gould.
Yeah, how could you not?
Rich Gould.
I asked Doug, you're vacationing in the Hamptons next week, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson and I were discussing, this is the third thing we discussed on QFDA, about producer Joe coming in and filling in one of the days, knowing that one of the terms would be Iggy would have to be out in order for him to do it. I figured Iggy probably wouldn't mind taking a day off. So I said, hey, you want to come in? Doug's going to be off. And either reintroduce the audience to producer Joe for those who have been listening for a long, long time, because he hasn't been on in 11 years, or to introduce people such as Jackson's peers, in their 20s or 30s who may not be familiar with his work. And he said he can't do it. And I said, well, what if Iggy wasn't there? And he said, no, it's more about my real job.
He has a real job and doesn't want to do this with all the glamour that's associated with it?
And the exposure.
Yeah. Boy, what a nut job he turned out to be.
Thank you.
Damn it.
So he's just going to go through the motions of working a regular 9-to-5 job in the corporate world?
Right.
As opposed to sit here and talk nonsense for a couple hours?
That's what I'm saying.
What kind of a kook?
I want to see Joe. Full 3 hours?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Full-throated?
Yeah.
Full-throated. Maybe Rich Gould will come in.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
That'd be awesome. Love Rich Gould. When he came on, when he retired, it was like we were having Rodney Dangerfield on the show.
I wonder what he's been doing the last couple of years.
I saw him at a Mizzou football game this year.
What do you have to say?
The one at the Dome. Happily retired. Very happily retired. Nah, not doing much. Just watching TV. Playing my guitar, watching TV, living the good life.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was the same guy when he was anchoring.
Mm-hmm.
God, unbelievable. How can you claim to love Parker Posey and have never seen Best in Show? Do better. That's from Lee Norwood.
Sure, Lee. Dazed and Confused. I'll say it again. I love Dazed and Confused, and I love Parker Posey in Dazed and Confused.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney or Alexandra Daddario? Thanks. That's from Hedonism Chuck.
Sid.
Boy, that puts me to the test.
Sid for me.
Wow.
I like blondes.
I think I would go Sydney Sweeney. And I never would have thought I would answer anybody other than Alexandra Daddario about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Anna de Armas over both of them.
You think you have a shot with any of these guys?
No. Sydney Sweeney looked like she's about to cry every time I see her, so I'm going to Dario. I think she's beautiful, but she always has tears in her tear ducts, like she's ready to explode within them. Like
it's called range, bro.
I'm
Took
just
that
saying.
off.
I think behind camera should be tough to date.
Sydney Sweeney would be?
Emotional
And why do you
roller
say that?
coaster right there.
Really?
Just feel
Think
it.
so?
Just feel it. I don't know
That's like how
anything.
producer Joe could tell that a woman would smell.
Just watching on TV, you could tell.
Todd Reesing says Daddario's like 40 now.
Is that no way?
It's
No.
Todd Reesing.
Yeah. Kansas education. She's 37.
37, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Looks great.
Well, yeah, 37 is not over the hill by any means.
No. I guess you would.
Let me ask you this, and this will help me give a more informed answer. Which one, and I'm going to go to Plowhawk here because he's got the reads, which one do you think is more likely to have been with a woman?
Oh, Daddario for sure.
Really? All right, then I'm going with her.
Well, she's
I feel like the answer is actually both. I really feel good about that.
She's in a show recently to where I thought they were open with having sex with other couples and female and male. I forgot what show it was.
Mayfair Witches.
Mayfair Witches.
Mayfair Witches.
The Girlfriend Experience. Not the Steven Soderbergh one. Or maybe it is.
No, her husband was like a screenwriter. I forgot exactly what the show was called, but she just seems sporting.
I think the answer is both, but maybe that's because I want the answer to be both, and I have to really re-examine that. Jackson, you've lost another investor in goodorbad.com. Jackson hasn't seen Waiting for Guffman. I'm divesting from goodorbad.com, so Manute Bull eligible is withdrawing funds.
Waiting for Guffman?
You will enjoy this is like right up your alley.
All right. Trust me, I'm into it, baby. So Christopher Guest makes all these movies.
Doug, this is our Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year. His name is Stephen Wildwood, 2023. Dem fun bags on Sweeney. Gots to see dem live. Oh, wow. It's our listener.
Nice comment, Steve.
And Prod Joe doesn't want to come in here and do this?
Yeah.
The hell's wrong with him?
Got a job, he says.
Yeah.
I have a job. Yeah, right.
This is where the action is.
Now, when you talk about seeing those movies that you haven't seen before, are they all out there on Netflix?
Or worst case, rent it on Prime. $2.99.
Every movie
pretty much
that's ever been made, you could get on Prime for $3.
If you want to watch a movie in 2024 and you have $5, you can watch that at home, and you have an internet connection. Yeah, whether it be Apple or Prime.
That's the way that it is.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So you need a Prime subscription
or Apple TV. They have all the movies too. They have a huge.
First, you get the subscription, and then you buy the movie.
Yeah, and then you pay, or plenty of movies are on HBO Max, Hulu, Netflix,
right?
Prime Video for free.
I got that. I got HBO and Showtime and all that.
Yeah, and so
it's rarely a movie that I think, boy, I really got to see that.
So you can type it into your phone, and then it pops up on what streaming services it is or isn't on, and then sometimes it's like you have to rent it. It's like, okay, $3. It's $3.
Doug, breaking news just coming in here in this Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Chuck, is it Shoop or Scoop? Shoopy? Is it Chuck Shoopy in the YouTube chat? Do you know Chuck?
Chuck Shoopy. Shooper, yeah. We call him Shooper.
Sounds like he might be like the
Kirkwood
DC from a zoo.
Yeah. He says Sweeney has and did on the set of the Rolling Stones video.
Huh?
I guess did lesbianic scissoring right in front of a live audience.
In front of Jack Shoopy.
I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, they call him Scoopy Shoopy. So if anyone knows, it'd be him.
I felt like we would have seen or heard of that video.
Yeah, somebody would have brought that to my attention.
I mean, she does a lot in Euphoria, but I don't believe there was ever any lesbianism.
Like if you said, have they engaged in girl-girl, off-screen, private lives, I am like betting both have. I really feel good about it, too.
Probably.
God, that's so great.
Well, how does it help you?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. It's a great question, and I don't have an answer to it. I just know it puts me in a good place.
Well, you can imagine. Even if they did, you're going to have to imagine that. So why don't you just imagine that it all happened?
You're exactly right. But like, who's somebody that you can say with confidence, very attractive actress or musician, who has not engaged in girl-girl? See what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, so you're saying it like
Leona Helmsley?
Rachel McAdams?
You don't think McAdams has?
No.
Sounds like Jackson's disappointed to hear that news, Plowhawk.
No, she's my girl.
I love Rachel McAdams.
Now, why is she your girl?
She's classy.
Well, don't get upset about it. You look mad when you say that.
She's not bumping some B-list celebrity.
Is it because she's Canadian?
She ain't doing no scissoring. No, I just think it's... I don't know, I just think she's... kind of got that downtown, homey feel to it,
Yeah.
I don't see any...
Canton vibe about her. You could see her walking the streets of Canton, probably.
Wouldn't say she has a Canton vibe.
Tim, Sweet Kai, says Jennifer Aniston has not.
You don't think?
God, that's Sweet Kai.
Heyday of Friends?
Like what, with like Lisa Kudrow?
Well, according to Cox.
You won there.
Well, I mean, so many women modeled their hair after her. Am I wrong on that?
Well, that's accurate, but that doesn't necessarily mean that then...
Well, that would make you think that a lot of women had some interest in her.
I think Sweet Kai might be right about that.
I model my hair after Fabio. I don't have any interest in him.
Jackson?
So you say.
Responds.
So you say.
Good morning. Emma Watson is not engaged in Girl 1000%. That's from Big Tuft.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
T-Swift.
Yeah, nice play.
That's all day. That's the right answer, actually.
We would have had a lesbianic love song already released, a whole album maybe just called Lesbian.
I think you guys are way off.
Just Taylor
You think
Swift
she
lesbian.
has?
There's a big Reddit thread about Taylor Swift.
Oh, wow.
That's got to be true then.
Taylor
Thank you.
Swift.
She smells. She can kind of smell.
Oh, my God, Producer Joe tribute.
I gotta. If I'm gonna put my Prod Joe hat on, I feel like she has a smell.
Well, why would you say that?
Just a guess. I don't think Prod Joe had any answers to his guessing either. You're looking at a screen and saying that dude smells. Or that
Remember
person
that he was
smells.
passionate about some girl on The Bachelor having an odor?
He could tell.
Yeah.
And we couldn't.
Right.
We just watched it. She looked like a cute girl.
Have you ever seen someone on television? Boy, I think they smell.
If they're sweating or something.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm watching Hoarders,
Yeah.
the whole world smells.
So Taylor Swift is the answer, but Jackson disagrees with it
I'm just saying that there's a lot of theories out there.
because of a Reddit thread.
Like a big Reddit community.
That's one guy, though, right?
No, like probably 1 million threads on this one community.
And how would these people know?
They don't. How do they know anything? How did Joe and other people smelled? It's the internet.
He had a sixth sense.
He did.
The internet's crazy. This is what happens.
You think we'll ever get smell-o-vision?
Yes.
Where they'll pump into your house the smell of what's happening in the scene that you're watching?
Well, might be a little too immersive.
Would you even want it?
I watch a lot of period pieces, and I do not want to smell the Gilded Age when it coming out of the.
How about if it was at a movie theater to get the real experience?
Yeah.
They have something like that at Disney World where it's like
It
all
rains
your
a little bit
senses.
on you
Yeah,
and
like
you're in the
a bee
rainforest.
comes up and like it stings you and like someone pinches your ass.
Ooh, Bill.
I think it's going to happen in advertising, no doubt.
This gentleman's mad at Jackson for selecting Sydney Sweeney and sent in what I gather is an unflattering picture for you to look at.
Okay, yeah, she's still very attractive. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, they're mad at you for not taking Alexandra. All right.
Whenever like celebrity photos often on the fan page pop up, it's like she's got like a little weird teeth. I'm like, dude, that girl wouldn't even look at you twice.
Wow. You going
Yeah,
after
these are guys who weigh
Yeah.
400 pounds.
Yeah, sorry, if you have a
wearing
30
white beater T-shirts and haven't shaved in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Saying she's not perfect. She's not up to my standards.
weird teeth, and the guy has like is a 38-26 pant size.
And you can almost
Get outta
always
here.
find
That was height shaming right there, and I caught it.
Yeah, more width.
26.
You can find one still frame of anybody
Close
looking
to my
horrible.
size.
You got a lot of thigh though, KG. You're all thigh.
That's true, thank you. And calf.
That's from catching.
Yeah,
Right?
there's something to
Your
that.
years
Oh,
as a
yeah.
catcher.
I would
Pitch
agree with
framing.
that, actually.
You could squat post dish.
You have no idea.
Ooh, Bill. Bill. Design Air is the sponsor of our email of the day. And Buck Swope took a 1-goal lead over Brian Hench and Bull Executive yesterday. What a leaderboard we have here in the month of January. A couple weeks left. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. I noticed that some of like the snow and the ice is melted.
It was like 40-some degrees yesterday.
Yeah, we kind of made a Sunday charge, and today will be above freezing as well. And Doug, next week, starting on Tuesday, highs in the 40s. Look at us.
Yeah.
Tropical paradise.
But back down to the single digits tomorrow and maybe Saturday.
Yeah. 4 degrees for the low on Saturday, 19 for the high, 10 degrees for the low on Sunday, 30 for the high. Go to Seth Goldcamp. A number of our listeners ran into some problems with their furnaces during the super cold streak. DesignAirService.com is where they went, and the great Seth Goldcamp took wonderful care of them online at DesignAirService.com. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, official HVAC provider of The Morning After and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. QFTA today at 11:15, and we'll wrap it up at about 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to go 10 hours. We've got a lot to talk about. Send your emails in for it, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Doug, would you like to tell me about Brown & Crouppen, our title sponsor?
Well, that's what they are. They're our title sponsor, and we are happy to have them. If you have a potential personal injury lawsuit, Brown & Crouppen is a local law firm standing by, ready to serve you. They are the sentries of the legal profession, is what they are. They're founded in 1979, 44 years old now, and they've grown into one of the largest personal injury firms in the entire Midwest. They are a local law firm. They know their way around the courts in this town. They know the other lawyers. They know the judges. They know how things work in St. Louis. And that's important because you see a lot of law firms come in and advertise, and they're nationally based. You want someone who is local and knows all the ins and outs of our town. Brown & Crouppen, very much a part of our community. If you think you may need Brown & Crouppen services, here's what you do. You call. I'll give the phone number now.
Do it.
314-222-2222, or you go to brownandcruppen.com. Make sure to let them know you heard about it here on TMA. And why would you go to Brown & Crouppen? Oh, I don't know. They'll give you a free evaluation for your case. Doesn't cost anything to talk it over with them. They'll work on a contingency basis. No upfront costs at all. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid, and they've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients. It's Brown & Crouppen, the number again, 314-222-2222. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
James Carlton is my insurance agent. He's also the Plowhawks insurance agent. And I am telling you this, and I feel passionately about it. If you're not with James Carlton, make the switch to James Carlton. They do all the paperwork for you. And I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, oh, I don't want to have the awkward conversation where I have to pop my current insurance agent. I understand that. But for that 10 seconds of being uncomfortable, you now have a lifetime of reliability with the best insurance agency and agent in the St. Louis area, and that's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch, and I couldn't be happier that I did. Great customer service, and if your insurance has gone up in the last year, give James a chance to save you money. He has done that for a lot of people in our audience. 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. 352 5-star ratings like this one. I have used James Carlton's agency for the past year. Mike Ross, James, and everyone I've interacted with have been helpful and customer focused. They did not try to sell me on products I didn't need or want. I haven't had to file a claim, but all reviews tell me that the experience will be good. Best of all, my rates were significantly reduced when switching and have remained virtually the same at renewal. How important is that? That is left on the Google page by Steve. Doug, do you pronounce it Poljak?
I do, yeah.
One of the 352 5-star reviews. Go to carltoninsurance.net to work with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency in Webster Groves. It is 8:12 in St. Louis. Ken Strode out ill today. KGNO Town like a sentry comes in.
Mm-hmm.
What were you? Were you asleep? Were you at the gym when I texted you?
I was asleep.
God. And does your phone wake you up, or do you have it on Do Not Disturb?
Neither. My body just kind of gets me up around that time regardless.
That prostate?
Not a prostate issue.
Thighs.
Yeah, the thighs get rubbing together. Brush fire starts and I wake up.
Oh,
hot. Like that. Very hot.
Literally.
Gosh.
But yeah, I was happy to see the text.
Were you?
You know what? I woke up, saw the text, and my phone was playing yesterday's QFTA. I went to bed and it started, and I woke up, it was still playing.
It's still going, Doug.
Gosh,
the man went
later.
to bed at 9 o'clock, and at 6 a.m. it was still going. And we were just talking about coffee.
And talking.
I like the idea of guys falling asleep to our dulcet tones.
I like that, because I think there's a 90% chance they're pleasuring themselves to us.
Well, we've always said we'll edge you, but we're not going to get you all the way there.
I had a buddy tell me that he used to have sex with his girlfriend while watching me anchor on Channel 4.
That's so nice.
Watching you anchor?
Yeah, and that would always give me like a soft cow when I was on the
Well, that
desk.
guy's divorced, obviously.
Yeah.
And probably servicing
that
gentlemen.
guy.
What would happen if weather broke and your sportscast got cut
Doug
short?
and I would have our sportscast cut short. We couldn't be more fine with it.
And here comes Templeton.
Was there a better thing to come to your IBF than, hey, we got to cut
IBF,
sports
of
short?
course, being irritable bowel syndrome. IFB is the
IFB.
device that, the best was, if you remember, like if a CBS game or network telecast went past, was it 22 past the hour or 12 past 18 past the hour? So we would be back, and then the newscast would be canceled.
Oh, wow.
And so we would be back in the sports office cheering for watching that clock. Thinking, oh, nice, we're going to...
Yeah, it's like
even though we go out there and read off a teleprompter for 30 seconds, it's not like we're doing
It was nice if they told you 2 hours before you don't have sports.
Right.
Then you didn't have to do anything.
Right.
But putting it together is all the work.
Right, so it doesn't
Just sitting
matter.
there for 3 minutes to read it, that's nothing.
Right.
So those were our victories, Jackson.
Once you've done the work, you figure I might as well sit here and read it for 3 minutes. Otherwise, I wasted my whole day.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the old...
But really, in reality, when we made the choice to major in journalism, we had wasted our
We
whole
were going to
lives.
waste every day. But if they told you, if the early show got canceled because the football game went into overtime, then you didn't have to
you
do
got a
much for the
pony.
late show. The late show was already done. Ha ha! This won't be a repeat. Never got on the first time.
Yep.
Oh, so yeah, you basically got to you could just do it. You didn't have to do the work twice.
Yep.
Pretty much.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, see?
Update 1 or 2 games, and that's about it. Go to, go to a casino, gamble for 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
The ladies would be out there looking for us.
Have some steak, champagne dinner, some
Gosh, most likely for me.
Get back around 10:15, 10:16, and do the sports at 10:22.
Like Mad Men.
Go right back to the bar. 10:35. I'm already back at the cocktail lounge bottle service season.
It felt like the Rat Pack. It felt like I was Dean Martin or something.
Sydney Sweeney isn't half as hot as Dario Jackson. That's from Harrison's brother Master.
That's the thing about opinions is you and I can have different ones, and that is just just the American dream, isn't it?
Does that work for sphincters as well?
Flip that off.
Everyone has one.
Yeah. And yours stinks.
Oh! Well, you took that to another level I did not see coming.
Can we discuss how many Hollywood hunks have hooked up? I have a strong feeling about Kelsey Grammer and Ted Danson, like a Hot Cheers reunion episode. Thanks. That's from Joan Jett's Groping Hand. Do you ever get the sense that Ted Danson and Kelsey
Never
Grammer?
have given it a bit of a thought.
That might be like the 90s sitcom dream team if Grammer and Danson hooked up.
I don't know. There's probably more gay men than women in Hollywood, don't you think?
Good question.
Because gay men are accepted in that business, and a lot of the business is gay, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know.
Okay.
With that, there's an example right here in the Midwest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My waist is 34, my length is 30, and I love Sydney Sweeney. To be honest, I would bang any strange if they threw themselves at me, and I don't think my wife would care. Doug, that's our Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year, giving his thoughts.
That's about my.
Stephen Wildwood.
I'm about my dimensions.
34, 30?
There's no way you're 30.
You're bigger than a 30 pant.
So that's the thing is 32s are a little long and 30s are too short.
Cut it out.
So
are
like
you high-waisted?
31 is like the ideal.
We'll see you get them
Really?
32 and get them altered.
Well, how tall are you? What, 6'1" or 2?
6'1".
Wow, you got tiny little legs, boy?
Well, that's the thing. Height isn't the matter. It's how long your legs are.
Doug, I understand that. We went to journalism
He's the one who just
school.
said height.
But usually the legs
But then it means you have a long torso, then.
I guess.
I gather.
Longer. I hike my pants up as high as I can.
Really?
Yeah. Want me to like spin around for you? And show you?
But I wouldn't have thought that I have longer legs than you do.
Yeah, like I said, like 30s are too
Make
short.
sure you're in the view of the camera for the audience, so I'd walk back toward the door. And
Just like Tim used to do at the restaurant. Stand up on that stool, boy.
Tyler, where's Bob? Look at, I like how he put his hands on his hips.
Yeah, I see now that your waist is, your trunk is elongated, and short, chubby little legs.
You should be like 6'4".
I'm telling you.
God, can you imagine? You'd be banging them 7 at a time.
I could have played college hoops.
Been balling at the mall.
You know,
I'm
Love
like,
how you
I'm
said
definitely.
banging
We're
7 at a
30.
time.
30.
You got
No,
that
I don't.
hoops.
I don't. 30s don't.
And then he went right to
30s are too short. 30s are too short, but 32s sometimes can be a little long.
Plus, you're going to want those ankles out.
Right, ankle cleavage.
Now that looks horrible. That looks absolutely looks like Pee Wee Herman.
Is that right?
I see some people in suits with their ankles out. It just looks horrendous.
Why are you going after the St. Louis Blues?
That's how they dress. It just looks. Whoever told them that looks good? It looks horrific.
34, 32 is what I buy. That's what I buy. And then I deal with it. Some of them work great. Some of them are a little short.
32, 30, 34, 30?
34, 32. That's what I buy.
34, 32.
And I always wear a belt. I prefer it to be a little more room there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Got a lot of ass.
Oh. Oh, it's going to be hard to continue now, isn't it?
My dad is texting me rampant saying that I don't wear 32s. It's like he knows what pants I wear.
You wear 30s?
No, I wear 32. 34, 32 is what I wear.
Okay.
That's why when I buy pants, that's what I wear.
That makes a little more sense than a 30 being over 6 feet tall.
What waist do you buy?
Oh, it just depends on when I have Baby Gap or...
You shop at Baby Gap?
I'm kidding, Doug. I'm kidding.
Youth
29 or
excels.
30?
What is it?
29 or 30?
I bet that's hard to find.
29s are tough. Old Navy, you can find them sometimes.
Is that the kids section, the boys section?
No, no. I use my shirts for that. If I want to save a buck or two, like it's a good deal.
I don't see many pants that are 29
So
inch
it's
waist.
29,
I would think
32?
I would think you're 28.
I could fit in a 28
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
I like a belt, though. I'm with Jackson on that one.
Yeah,
like
I go belt as well.
Yeah, I like a little comfort there.
Now, Jay Randolph always liked the Sansa belt slacks.
I like that. That's
they
an old
could
money play.
Stretch to, depending on how much you'd eaten.
Those are nice,
I like
actually.
those too. Yeah, I love those.
Special occasions only.
A lot of the pants now stretch a little. They even make blue jeans that stretch a little.
I've noticed that, and they've changed the sizes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like I've lost weight, and I was like a 31 back in the day when they had. I don't even know if they still have them. I guess they have to have them. They're just not as popular as like the even numbers. And now I'm down to a 30, and I'm like, oh, they're they're Americaning it to make people feel better about the situation.
Yeah, 32 at the. Not. I mean, that's skinny, right? Like now.
Well, I mean, if you're like 5 feet, it might.
That's what I am. I'm
Yeah.
a 32-inch waist.
Emily Ratajkowski is like Clemson, the best 5-6 years ago, but now fighting for a top 25 spot.
Oh,
it's like collar gangster.
I like Emily Ratajkowski. She's really good in Gone Girl. Although a girl that hot would never live in fake Carthage, Missouri.
Oh my God!
Well, you never know.
Wow!
They gotta
The
grow
city
up
doesn't even
somewhere.
exist.
Wow!
I can say whatever I want.
Oh, that chick.
Carthageville?
Ain't banging a bar owner either.
Well, Ben Affleck.
Well, Ben Affleck ain't owning
Rawr.
a bar.
Plowsy, you're from a small town. There are some beautiful girls there, no doubt.
No.
No?
No.
None?
Really? Like
Not
that
like
one who like
stunning
broke out and then went to just like St. Louis?
Oh, yeah. My freshman year, she was a senior.
Really? What happened?
There was 2 of them. So that class yielded probably the most attractive females in Canton. So
Dream Team.
I don't really want to
Promiscuous?
say. I'm sure they've gotten married, but I really don't want to. Whitney
wow.
and Christine.
Oh, yeah.
You heard about them?
Sure, I think everyone
I don't want to
did.
say the full. I'm like, I just don't want to drag people.
Well, I didn't necessarily mean names. I just thought just in general, wherever
So
you are,
I
you
can
see somebody
remember
that's attractive.
2. Yeah.
How about your class? There were some.
I mean, Doug, you're talking attractive and like stunning, gorgeous. Like there's no Ratajkowskis.
No,
there's
they don't have to look
Sweeneys.
like a Paris runway model.
Well,
but
that was how the question was posed. Or any really
most of them wouldn't anywhere unless they were all made up and everything.
yeah. So I mean, I would say it wasn't like a dumpster fire, but you don't have that top tier crop, but you don't expect it living in a town like that either.
Well, it's just a numbers game, probably.
Yeah, I would.
If you have 500 girls in your school, you're gonna have what, at least 10% or so that you go, wow, she's really attractive. At least 10%.
It's just all what
And
you're
if you only
used
have
to looking
if you only
at.
have 30 girls in your school, there might be 1 or 2 that you find attractive.
Yeah. So it was okay. I wouldn't say I complained at all about the.
But the men like yourself, big plowboys,
they were terrible. I feel bad for the females there.
Oh.
There's definitely a Carthage, Missouri. Sorry, it's outside the Central Corridor, moneybags.
Yeah, there is
That's
a
from
Carthage.
Arbor Day.
There's a Carthage.
I was under the impression that was a fake town.
No, there's a Carthage, Missouri.
And the Sydney Wells, this text, she is not from Canton. Her dad lives in Canton. He's a famous hunter. She does the Barstool outdoor stuff. She's right by Canton. She didn't go to Canton school at this.
She couldn't hack it in Canton.
Her dad is like the most famous person. Like when it's him and Jim Tomey next to each other, it's always Sydney's dad.
And what did he do to get famous?
He's just a really great hunter. He released his own videos, and then professional athletes started coming in, and he got his
big game hunter. Is he?
Yeah, he gone over the world, killed everything. So with Jim Tomey though too, that's kind of the big thing in that area.
At least
Tomey's
Tomey
got like an estate out there.
But Tomey was playing against other people who had a chance. The big game hunter's the only one with a gun.
Well, I'm saying Tomey hunts too as well. Like Jim Tomey, you should see his land right outside of my
I just think
hometown.
that's a
It's
bigger
insane.
accomplishment to be a
100%.
Major League Baseball star than to take a gun and shoot an animal that's
Yeah.
standing there.
I would agree. I would say it takes
You're interested
skill.
in coming down the hallway at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, best of luck.
Yeah, Godspeed with that take. Your thoughts are welcome. It's the Jeff Lotman Compass Realty text inbox, 314-881-TMA5, and he's online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Looking to buy or sell a home? Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty, sponsor of our text inbox in 2024, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Yeah, that's Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty. Had lunch with him last, was it a week ago, or is it a day ago that I had lunch? Went to Circle 7, and I got that Buddy's
right there at
barbecue
the-
salad. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Down Manchester and Bope.
Yeah, I substitute the ranch with honey mustard, and I have them toss it with an extra chicken breast, if you please, because I like my protein in my gullet.
Oh, do you really?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you would have enjoyed it. Iggy could have come and made a tableside guac.
It would have.
It's a lot of protein, too. Chicken breast?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
a
I
lot
mean,
of
when you have a
cholesterol.
body like mine.
A lot of cholesterol.
Dirty waste.
But a lot of protein.
Yeah.
Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Jackson, tell me about your hair and Doug's hair, because you're holding steady, and Doug, every day, it's more and more.
I'm dunking on the balds at this point.
Doug dunking on the balds. Yeah, both of us really are. What are you, the mayor of the Wispy City?
Feels that way.
God, your hair looks really good.
I got all kinds of tufts.
Yeah, I have white years different. Yeah.
Jackson discouraged me yesterday on QFT. There's a fourth thing we talked about from getting the procedure.
Not because, like, obviously, if you're going to go somewhere, St. Louis Hair Restoration is the place to go, and they take great care of you. I'm just saying Tim is like, it seems like he's comfortable with
He's perfect in so many ways already. Why would you want to tinker with it?
Good for you for saying
That's what you're
Doug.
saying.
Well, I'm just like, he doesn't do TV anymore,
Oh, but we're trying to get back in.
desperately for those
In the
sports.
local news scene?
For those sports, based on what you guys said with the casinos and all that, it seems like it was a rip-roaring time. Either way, if you are looking to get something done, St. Louis Hair Restoration is the place to go. You go in there, they'll give you a free consultation on your hair, say, what's the best plan going forward for you? And then you mention TMA, $250 off a hair treatment.
Just like that.
$250 off just by mentioning TMA over at St. Louis Hair Restoration. For me, the best plan was the finasteride, which is the generic form of Propecia, take in the morning every day. Super easy. Then a little laser cap. I wear it 6 minutes a night, making some big results for my hair. And Doug got the FUE procedure, and you can see what's done.
Yeah, mine's more noticeable. The FUEs be more drastic if you have bigger problems.
Right.
I had bigger problems than Jackson. I had a very thin hairline in front. I lost almost the front half of my hair. And so it was a rather involved procedure, but the whole thing only took, about 3-4 hours, I guess. And you just sit there and you watch TV and you don't really feel a thing. They numb you up real nice. Somebody's up there, just like a dentist is working on your teeth, but after they numb you up, you don't feel anything. And with this, they don't have their hands in your mouth, which is nice. So I sat there and watched TV. They fed me lunch, and the whole thing was over, as I said, 3 or 4 hours. And they say for about 10% of the people, there is a little bit of bruising, or not bruising really, but swelling in the forehead. And that's what I had, a little bit. I was only one of about 10% that have it. But after a couple days, that's gone. Then you just put on a baseball hat and you wait it out. And for me, it's been almost 7 months now, and you can see these tufts just a dunking on the balls. That's what I'm doing.
Dunking on the balls.
Enough wisp up there for a bird to make a nest out of. It's really come in well. I'm happy. You will be too. If it's something that's bothered you, don't put it off. You only live once. Get it done. What the heck? And it'd be done forever. You'll have that hair permanently. That's at St. Louis Hair Restoration.
If you are suffering from low energy, low motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, these are symptoms of low testosterone, so that could be the issue. That's when you go to Mentality. LowTUSA.com. Decreased mental acuity, attention span, and stress can cause focus issues on even the most simple tasks, belly fat, feeling bloated, and a lack of lean muscle and tone that used to be easy to get rid of or maintain. Go to Mentality. Mentality is a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. I got tested out there. Very easy procedure, in and out in 20 minutes. The normal range for testosterone is large. If you've been to a doctor and they told you that you were normal without understanding the range or testing your free testosterone, it wasn't fully looked at, come get checked with Mentality. Testosterone therapy helps men regain normal function and restores the ability to perform normally at all levels. Go to LowTUSA.com. That's Mentality at LowTUSA.com. Plowhawk, are you a Mark Chmura guy?
I know he's had a really rough post-NFL. Loved Mark Chmura.
He went to a prom, didn't he?
Yes. And he had the Superman tattoo, kind of famous for that. Yeah, that was kind of when I first really was introduced to watching Packer football.
He went to a prom while he was a Packer player?
He had, like I said, a very checkered... I haven't really checked up on him, Doug, in far too long, but...
He went to a high school prom while he was a Packer player?
25-year-old player, I think, or something.
How old was the gal? 18, I hope.
I don't know. I don't think I have any business talking about Mark Chmura.
But we have sound from him because now he's doing HD1. So he hasn't gotten HD2 yet, but he's doing HD1 at 94.5 ESPN in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And, the Packers are taking on the number 1 seed 49ers this weekend. And Brock Purdy, here is what his recommendation is.
But, Gabe, I go back, and it's little things like this. And the reason we won in 95 when no one gave us a chance in San Francisco is because we intimidated them. I mean, and I always revert to Wayne Simmons. Wayne Simmons kicked the crap out of Brent Jones. And then it got contagious, and then it carried over. That's why, you guys are going to think I'm crazy.
Well, we already think that, so go ahead.
A 15-yard penalty, and I don't condone this, but I kind of do in the playoffs. A 15-yard penalty for a late hit on Brock Purdy is not a bad thing, as long as it's worth it. I'm just saying, this is the mindset you go into when it's battle, and it's kind of like the reverse of hockey. What don't they do in hockey in the playoffs, Joshy?
Shave their beards?
That and one other thing.
They don't fight.
They don't fight. They don't fight, right? This is kind of like sometimes a 15-yard penalty is worth it early in the game if you knock the living crap out of the guy. And then he kind of like sticking your helmet in the ribs of Nick Bosa is like,
but that
I'm hearing ghosts.
Oof.
I mean,
what did he say at the end?
What?
Oh, I thought I stepped on something.
I know. I just said oof.
Oh.
This.
What does oof mean?
Oof, like, boy, I wish you would. I bet you wish you had that putt back.
I mean, honestly, and I don't condone it, but if this was said when he was playing, it would be a big issue. I mean, it's all. I
don't see what the big deal is about it.
I don't really.
It's the word late hit. Late hit is dirty.
See, if Chimura is saying but Brock
he's not
Purdy's
he's not on the team. You know, I mean, he's a sports talk guy. I know he's a former player, but I don't know. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean, I'm crapping on your soundbite. I thought I was like, oh, I wonder what happened here. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. But maybe is he catching?
Richard Sherman
is there backlash?
Yes,
there we go.
Richard Sherman was unhappy, and I tend to agree with what Sherman was saying. He's saying like you can't condone or like be like, yeah, you should go. He didn't say injure Brock Purdy, but he said late hit, which is not a part of the game, and take a penalty. Like you don't want to encourage players to like actually hurt other players.
But he's a talk show host. It's different than if he were on the team.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Like,
but he's a former player as well. I think there's something to that. Packer Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
Good. I just the NFL to me is going to be a 7-on-7 eventually, right? And I'm not. I enjoy watching the Packers, but the NFL has just lost its luster. The quarterback cannot get hit, cannot get hurt. You can't. Defensive players have to stop midway right after a quarterback. Like their momentum can't take them into the quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
It's
but
I think they do that because the game is so inferior when the top quarterbacks aren't out there.
And we missed like there was 3/4 of starting NFL quarterbacks week 1 weren't starting by week 12 because they're all injured.
They're just sitting.
If that's what you want your quarterback guaranteed healthy for the entire year in playoffs. Then make it a 7-on-7.
But that's not even happening now.
I mean, you can't touch them.
And they're still getting hurt.
They still get drilled. You can't hit them if they're running and they slide. I mean, you can't break up a double play anymore. Does that?
If I'm a
because they're too
quarterback,
soft on second baseman, it helps.
If I'm a QB, I'm fake sliding every time. Either you're getting 25 yards or you're getting a 15-yard penalty. You can't stop the fake slide because you have to stop because he's about to slide and then he just stutters right by you. Josh Allen does it all the time. You have rules for a defender that they really can't even play. I mean, a cornerback, the toughest position in any sport.
I think the players got so big and so fast, and it became such a passing-dominated league that the quarterbacks for large portions of the game were just sitting ducks back there by guys who weighed 300 pounds bearing down on them. How could you not get hurt if you get hit 15 or 20 times a game?
It's interesting. I did a sound story yesterday with a gentleman who's been coaching for just shy of 50 years. How about that? And I said, so what's the biggest change you've noticed? And I kind of was like, I wonder if it's been parents or whatever. And he goes, how big and strong the players are now versus when I started. And part of that is people focusing on one sport and also, of course, the nutrition and working out. It's just a totally different deal.
Yeah, evolution. We thought Dan Deerdorf, when he came to the football Cardinals in the 70s, was a monster of a man. He was 6'3", 275, not big enough to play today.
Yeah.
He was as big as anybody in the league.
Yeah.
Now, if they start out at 300, in high school you got 300-pound linemen. In my day, here we go with my day. In my day, we had offensive linemen weighing 170, 175 pounds.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, not some bigger, but plenty of them weren't much bigger than that.
Yeah, I feel like they looked bigger because the pads were massive.
Yeah, maybe.
The pads are really small now. The guys are still huge.
Yeah. Guys are just enormous now who play the game.
Well, it's on both sides of the ball. Wide receivers are 6'5" now, and cornerback can't touch them, and they're 5'10". I just think they made it too much of an offensive game. Defenses have very little chances. Now you see great defenses. There's a few always great defense, but I don't know.
Well, the public loves the game based on the ratings and everything.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it's going to change.
And it is money driven for sure, Doug. I'm just saying I don't enjoy watching quarterbacks basically get like the entire game and just catered completely to them.
But you also don't enjoy it when Patrick Mahomes gets knocked out injured and can't play anymore, or Josh Allen can't play, or one of the stars, C.J. Stroud can't. That's a big part of the entertainment value of the game.
You can't make $200 million with no risk. I mean, not in football. Like you're getting paid to, potentially get injured. I mean, that's kind of you sign up for that when you're like 8 or 9 years old.
I know, but it's largely
you can't have guys making a ton of money and not like getting touched.
But it's an entertainment product. It's a television show and a live entertainment product. And if you don't have the stars out there, it's not as entertaining.
Doug, I'm with you 100%. Just make it flag football. Make it 7-on-7.
No, I'm saying it doesn't have to be. They've done the best they can to protect the people that make the game as entertaining as it is. It's not the offensive linemen that make it that entertaining. It's the guys throwing the 60-yard bombs to the wide receivers.
Again, 7-on-7. That's what a 7-on-7. No, you just explained what a 7-on-7 is. No offensive linemen, just wide receiver and tight ends.
But we still want to see him tackled. We don't want to see him hurt.
Okay.
It's like NASCAR. You want to see the crashes. You don't want to see the guys maimed. But the crashes is part of the excitement of it all. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to disagree, but I understand what you're saying.
Plus, I would agree with you if that injuries went down, but injuries are still through the roof in the NFL. So even the rule changes aren't changing that much. People are still getting hurt a lot.
Well, if that's the case, then make it a 7-on-7. That's my whole point. Like, if you're so worried about ratings and not getting the guy get hurt, I mean, they're eventually going to get hurt. So if that's what you want in the end of the day, you should make it to where the quarterback can't get hit inside the pocket at all.
Well, I don't know. There are people that thought not being able to run over the catcher in baseball and break up a double play was going to change the game forever. It hasn't. Has anybody missed that? Nobody misses that. And now you don't have second basemen getting their legs broken and catchers getting concussions. And
that's a great rule change. I'm not saying all rule changes are bad. That was a great one. That Buster Posey video was tough.
Well, there's a big line between 7-on-7 touch football and where they are now. Yeah. There's a lot of room there to
I think they're getting closer to it than what they were 20 years ago. Like, they're closer to 7-on-7 than real tackle football.
The Pro Bowl became 7-on-7. That became a joke.
That is.
But you don't want to see that.
No. I'm not saying I don't want to see it. I'm saying if that's what
But
the
that's
NFL
what 7-on-7 on football is, kind of.
I'm not saying what I want. I'm saying what the NFL execs and what they're obviously wanting to make money and appeal to a fan base. That's what they want. I like hard-hitting football. I like grinding it and running. I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You can give your thoughts. Jeff Lotman text inbox 314-881-TMA5 JEFFLOTTMANN.com if you're looking to buy or sell your home. Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty sponsor of the text inbox. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling sponsor of our email today. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. We close out the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. This is the morning after, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Urban Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of rosé prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
Notrolls is a local family-owned business that takes pride in offering all-natural dog treats crafted with minimal ingredients and bursting with flavors such as peanut butter, chicken, and pumpkin. Their dental chews are designed to promote thorough teeth and gum cleaning, and the rawhide-free chews are gentle on dogs with sensitive stomachs. Visit Notrolls.com and enter the code TMA at checkout to enjoy an exclusive 15% discount along with free shipping on orders over $30. Don't miss out on these fantastic savings. Go to GNAWTURALS.com and apply TMA at checkout.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
You've heard us talking about Mark Hanna from Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mark and his team provide a personalized, holistic approach discussing cash flow, liquidity, debt, investments, insurance, taxes, and they pull it all together into a strategy that fits for each individual client. Start the new year off with a judgment-free conversation with Mark Hanna. Visit evergreenstl.com to learn more. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
The St. Louis Golf Expo is the can't-miss event of the year, giving golfers their first chance to see and swing clubs, which will be the talk of the golf world in 2024. Want to go for free? Go to the TMA app or TMASTL.com. Enter keyword golf, and you could win tickets to the St. Louis Golf Expo. Welcomed by SSM Health, February 2nd through the 4th at St. Charles Convention Center. Take advantage of the lowest prices of the year on brand-name clubs and equipment from the industry's leading manufacturers. Test out new golf clubs on an indoor driving range, lined with expert reps from the top manufacturers in the game, complete with skills contest and unbelievable prizes. Enjoy free lessons from top pros, a fully stocked 19th hole lounge, plus special areas for the kids, golf, fitness, and other exciting activities. Enter now on the TMA app and find out more at TMASTL.com. Open your TMA mobile app and enter keyword dog to win a $50 gift card towards the online store at Naughty Rolls. It's a locally owned family business offering all natural all-natural, limited-ingredient dog treats, dental chews that deep clean into gums, Hideless chews for dogs with sensitive stomachs, and all-natural protein-rich cookies. All available in chicken, peanut butter, and pumpkin flavors. Discounted variety packs available. Free shipping on orders of $30 or more. Find out more at tmastl.com.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now,
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
Wow, isn't this
No,
nice?
it's funny. You're right. A guy named Bill had a great hole.
That is funny.
It's got to be the Mills brothers.
Has to be.
Coney Island washboard.
Coney Island washboard. Doug, how happy are you with this?
I love this.
Yeah, but how do you dry hump to this?
Well, I don't know.
You can
how can you not like this kind of snappy
You can
little
put the
tune?
Mills Brothers discography up against almost
Don't
anybody.
say discography. Catchy tune.
Ba-ba-dee, ba-ba-ba-dee.
And nobody's making that kind of music anymore, are they?
Well, no, they want to make
Close
money.
to country. This is close to some country.
Yeah, kind of Western twang to it, I think.
Yeah.
Mighty fine picking and a digging.
Mm-hmm. What's a Coney Island washboard?
Yeah.
Sex position.
I'm actually afraid
Yeah.
to look it up.
I think it's anal mish. Am I right on that?
Oh.
Anal adjacent.
Yeah. I would like to point out that Iggy is like Tim's old, small, yappy dog. Anytime someone joins the show and grabs Tim's attention, the old dog barks and barks until the guest leaves. If his owner, Tim, talks to someone else for too long, he has accidents and behaviors to desperately get the attention. If that doesn't work, he runs away. That's from caller Buzz. And I
Yeah.
think he won the Milagro Tequila Lister of the Month in June. You can be the Milagro Tequila Lister of the Month for January 2024. Just go to tmastl.com and sign up. And if you're a female, you probably win.
New prize.
What?
Yeah, new prize for
What is
the
it?
Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Uh-huh.
What's the prize?
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
Secret, huh?
I know what it is, but
Well, why won't you tell us?
I should text somebody first to confirm that it is what it is before I say it.
All right.
And I realized that halfway through saying it. But I'm glad I caught myself.
All right.
But I'm 90% confident that
You may have been
prize.
premature in announcing it.
Ooh, preemie. Jackson, we got a new thing going on here, too.
Yeah, look at that.
It's not just the Milagro Tequila Lister of the Month prize. EDF, sponsor of when Doug puts on those hot take mittens when it gets just too hot in here. Look at those. They're brand new if you're watching on YouTube.
Not broken in yet.
Yeah, but look how nice. Those are the EDF mitts. Engineered, designed facilities. Oh, look at that, Doug's.
If the takes get too hot, I can make facial expressions. But at least my hands won't get singed. I'm prepared.
That's brand new this year. The EDF Group sponsor the Hot Take Mittens. If you want to support the sponsors here on this program, the EDF Group, it's real simple. If you have a fire extinguisher at work, the answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. Jackson, tell the people about Mark Hanna. He was in yesterday with Jeremy Rutherford. How do
He
you
was. Great to see him. It's the first time those two gentlemen have ever met. And that's just lovely, you know. Mark Hanna, Jeremy Rutherford, match made in heaven. I love hearing
Two
JR.
greats in their own field.
Absolutely. Yeah, but Mark Hanna is kind of like
what is he now?
He's like the
Sherpa?
JR. He's the JR of finances. You know, a guy you can always rely on, a guy who's always going to be there for you, and who does great work. He's going to help you out. His office is located right by Grassi's, right here, centrally located. Doug has spilled some tea, but I'm going to keep going because
Thank
I'm
God
a
I had the
professional.
mitts on.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I tried to drink the hot tea with the mitts. The tea fell
Show
apart.
how wet your
and
hands are
I
in
don't
that
feel a
YouTube.
thing.
Let them see how wet those hands are in that YouTube. Yeah.
These things
Go
really
to YouTube
work.
right now and see how wet Doug's hands are. Yeah.
I can't drink the tea with the oven mitts.
I saw that happen in slow motion. That was great.
Well,
That
now
was
I have a mess,
world-class.
but I don't have any burns.
Yep.
Thank you, EDF
Thank you,
Support
EDF.
Systems.
Thank you, EDF, and thank you, Mark Hanna, because I know that if I ever have an issue with my financial plan that I made with Mark Hanna, we made a custom plan based on what I want to be in the next 10, 15 years, where I'm at right now. And if I ever have to make a change to that, it can be nerve-wracking. Don't get me wrong. Life changes quickly on you, and you can get on the touch with Mark Hanna, feel better getting off the phone than when you get on it, and that is worth everything to me. That's why I love having someone like Mark Hanna in my corner, and you will too.
EvergreenSTL.com is where you go. I went by his office yesterday, matter of fact. Great office. 314-889-0503, Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. That Coney Island washboard song reminds me of my brother's washboard abs. Has me dreaming about him. Thanks, Shrewsbury Seat
That's
Sniffer.
not nice.
I feel like that's been Shrewsbury Seat Sniffer's position for a while now, that his brother's attractive.
Isn't that kind of odd? You
Well,
don't find
kink
that
shame.
odd?
Yeah, it sounds like you're kink shaming, Doug.
I do. I kink shame. Yeah, I also wash up a lot after spilling all this hot tea
You need a
everywhere.
paper towel?
I've got a couple over here.
I can get you one more.
That's all right. I don't
Jackson,
want
that
a lot of
spill
noise.
the tea phrase that people who I wouldn't hang out with use. What is that about?
So tea is like gossip. And so when you're asking someone to spill the tea, you're asking them to tell you the gossip.
Spill the beans. It used to be spill the beans.
What about the tea?
Beans is like a secret. Tea is more like gossip for consumption.
Spill the tea.
Yeah. And they used to have a Kermit the Frog meme of him
Oh, yeah.
drinking tea, and that was like the bat signal for gossip talk.
Nice.
I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, I don't
You
necessarily.
do a lot of
participate-
gossiping yourself?
No.
much?
I think everyone likes a little bit of gossip.
I think they do.
Yeah. There's a whole industry behind it.
Unless it's about you.
Right.
Then you
try
don't
to
care for the gossip.
Snuff out those rumors.
Right.
I'll go to the gossip site right now and see what's doing. Kanye West filmed a 40-minute apology video set to drop ahead of an album. That's at the top of TMZ today. Okay.
What's he apologizing for?
I don't know. I didn't read it. I just been
plenty to.
scrolling.
Taylor Swift bum rush?
That was 15 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
He's got some stuff
a
to
while ago.
apologize for.
Oh, well, why don't you say it, bro?
Yeah.
Spill the tea.
He's had some less than favorable comments about people of my cultural heritage.
Kanye West
yeah.
already tried apologizing for his rabid anti-Semitism, but it feels he didn't stick the landing because he recently did another one, which was much longer. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the controversial rapper got some camera guys together to shoot a lengthy apology video several weeks ago, and we're told it ended up running about 40 minutes with Kanye talking straight to the camera. We're told in no uncertain terms he was rambling, and at times it was impossible to decode what he was saying. What does that mean? He just was saying nonsense, or was he speaking Hebrew? I don't know because his post is in Hebrew. He posted something in Hebrew? Are you familiar with all of this?
He's...
Can you read Hebrew?
He absolutely has a mental illness, right? Like
He's bipolar. He's very forward.
Yeah,
about
I didn't
that.
know if that
No,
was...
yeah, he's
okay.
He had a whole album based on it. It's called I Hate Being Bipolar. It's awesome or something. And
that would be a bipolar sentence.
Right, that's the idea behind it. But yeah, he's long removed from his musical genius period and in his weird stage of his life. I don't know. I don't make comments on it. He's an odd duck.
Yeah.
Next story is Jillian Michaels claims Oprah profits off Ozempic and calls it an easy way out.
Yeah, this Ozempic's got a lot of women losing weight, but you also lose a lot of muscle mass that way. And they say when you get off Ozempic, the weight comes back really fast.
No, is that right? It's like my
without the
Propecia.
muscle. Without the muscle.
Really? Is that right?
Yeah.
Didn't know about that.
But people apparently have lost a lot of weight on there.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching a Sunday morning news piece like 6 months ago, like right when it was... And yeah, you could see the person who engineered and designed it jumping for joy. This is $1 trillion drug.
Yeah. But you do have to have a prescription, right? So doctors got to be in on it.
Yeah, but 75% of Americans are overweight, so
Right.
this is the easy one to just...
I guess. The doctor's probably happy to say, you want to lose 80 pounds? Sure, here you go.
Doug, Kim Kardashian, Mariah Carey, and Doja Cat had dinner at Nobu Malibu. Didn't go to the Arnold location. They went to the Malibu one.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that's like Spago in the 21st century? If you want to be shot by TMZ, you go to Nobu Malibu. That's what I feel like.
I went to Spago once.
How to treat you? Did you see Jack Nicholson there?
No, but across the street they had a giant record store and Elton John was there.
Well, all right.
And
What'd you say to him?
I didn't speak to him. I didn't see him. There was a huge crowd waiting for him to come out and satellite trucks there and spotlights and everything. We sat there and waited for half an hour. We never came out. So
What about Doja Cat?
I didn't see her.
Lori Laughlin's daughter, Olivia Jade, dredges up P word.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
I don't even know what that
But
means.
what's the P word?
I don't know, but she dredged it.
5-letter word for
Isn't she the one that faked her way into school?
They tried to buy their way into school. If that's the worst crime anyone's ever committed. I mean, that's been going on forever. And to throw someone in jail for that is the most absurd thing
I
I've
liked
ever
it
heard.
because they went too far and did the fake photos of her, like, rowing crew or lacrosse. Like,
Right, she wanted an
there's one
athletic
thing to lie.
scholarship.
There's a next thing to Photoshop photos and for quote-unquote proof. So I'm with you,
But that
but
still
not
doesn't put you in
quite.
jail, does it?
The P word is prison, apparently? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
I thought that was really crazy. Someone had an axe to grind against them.
Think about the domino effect. We talk about the butterfly effect, though, Doug. That one person who didn't get into USC because this person faked their way in, their life now is complete. Their trajectory of life is completely different.
What about a person that lies on a job resume and gets a job that somebody else doesn't get? Should they go to prison for that?
Didn't you do that when you said you could operate a camera?
I did. I did, in fact. But I could. All I needed was lessons. I left that out.
I like that.
I don't know. I just don't think that's a go to jail offense there.
Well, remember, you did say 5 years for flipping a car, so I don't know if I'm going to take your
Well,
judgment.
now you're talking violence where people could get hurt or killed.
We discussed that was playing the other day about, like, the baby being in there at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning after a championship. That was one of the funniest segments.
Yeah. Yeah, violence is different than just trying to get a better life for your child by lying about their resume.
Kim Kardashian has a tanning bed in her office.
That's nice to know.
She won't pay for that anywhere down the road.
I could use
Just
that.
scrolling down the... would you go to tanning bed?
Don't do it.
Probably not.
Get this if you want a tan. Just get a spray tan.
Like I'm kind of notoriously pale, and if I came in like sun-kissed, I feel like that would be like, and it's the middle of the winter, people might be dubious.
Well, and you have that skin tone for a reason. That's what you're supposed to have.
Right.
And if you put a lot of UV rays?
Yeah, UV.
Ultraviolet rays on there, you're just opening yourself up to skin cancer.
Yeah, definitely.
You bacon-skinned boot face.
When I lived in Florida, my doctor said, it's not a matter of if you're going to get skin cancer, it's when. I said, wonderful. Thank you, doctor. And sure enough, I got it.
But they just removed
and then,
that, right?
Mace is catching hell, Doug. Did you know Mace is catching hell?
I didn't know.
For D Wade, Mace Dog Plowix guy.
I said he's very chill.
The Miami Heat just bronzed Dwayne Wade's legacy with a statue that'll go up outside the team's arena, but Mace can't focus on that milestone. Instead, he's zeroing in on something else and in the process proving he's a dinosaur.
Oh, what's he zeroing in on?
Mace wasted no time laying into the fact D. Wade painted his nails heat colors, red and black, during his It Is What It Is podcast. He didn't just criticize Dwayne. Mace and his co-host Cameron were both doubled over in laughter as Mace compared the fashion statement to seeing Michael Jordan model lingerie. Cameron suggested Mace would be going viral for the remark, and he was right about that. Their not-so-subtle phobia aside, both guys are making it clear they're not up on the fact younger generations of men don't have the same hang-ups, including athletes, artists, and actors. Their co-host Treasure Wilson pointed out that celebs like A$AP Rocky, Harry Styles, and others also paint their nails. It doesn't appear Treasure's words caught through with the T-Rex and Brontosaurus. Oh, T...
God, I can't imagine the ladyboy that wrote that article.
But we're certain D. Wade couldn't care less about their take. The Heat pulled out all the stops to honor him for his 23,000-plus points, 3 championships and finals. Pretty damn good for a guy with painted nails, we'd say.
Oh, gosh.
A favorite player of all time?
Does anybody really care if he painted his nails to go to Miami Heat colors?
Cameron and Mace do.
All right.
Why does Hollywood suck? You reading those, I felt dumber. And I don't know half these people.
Well, they're people that love the spotlight, love to be different, love to push the envelope. And so you got a whole culture of that. And so it's just people out there trying to get attention for themselves and make a lot of money doing it, many of them.
Speaking of making a lot of money, Mr. Licks is on the line. Rare call-in with Iggy out sick today. Usually Iggy is the target of his calls. Good morning, Mr. Licks.
Yeah, hey, good morning. I'm going to have to call back in when Iggy gets back, but
I have a bone to pick with Doug.
Okay, what is it?
Why did you read anything about the Lori Loughlin case?
Yeah, it's been a few years now. I forget most of the particulars, but am I right? They tried to claim that she was an athlete in some obscure sport so she could get a scholarship to get into USC.
Rowing. Well, they paid a $500,000 bribe to the university.
Okay, a lot of people donate money to universities. No.
It's
amazing how the kids get into school. Happens at the high school level here in St. Louis, in fact.
A bribe is different than a donation.
How so?
They bribed officials for their idiot daughters to get into the school.
Right, and a lot of times if kids can't get into a private
So
school,
you think
the
just
parents
like you
will...
can bribe people and not go to jail?
No, that's different. I think there's been a lot of people that have made donations to schools and all of a sudden their kids get in there. You can call it a bribe or a donation, whatever. And even still, I don't think that should be punishable by years in prison.
It went to officials. It didn't go to the school. It went to people, individuals.
Who?
And the coach was in on it as well.
Who? What are you talking about? Who? Why do you care? Who?
You said, why do you care?
Why do I care?
Yeah, you asked me why I care, and I asked you why you care.
Right.
Oh,
okay. Well, I'd like to make the record be accurate.
All right.
She should be in jail.
Oh, God.
She didn't go to jail forever. She just went to jail for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think
that
that should
spanking and get out of there.
There's so much violence you can commit nowadays on the streets here and never go to jail. To pay $500,000 to get your kid into school, to me, that's not worth going to jail.
Doug, they were paying the coaches to get in on it. Doug, this is like not just calling USC administrators and go, I'm going to donate $500,000 if you can look kindly on my daughter's application. It was blatantly, I'm going to pay this to you and to you and to you under the table so you can get my daughter into college. They're two completely different things.
It's not fair.
That's literally illegal, Doug. It's like, by the letter of the law, it's a felony, I do believe. So, like, you can't just poo-poo it as... Just because it's a white-collar crime happened to millionaires, Doug, doesn't mean it doesn't affect other people. Again, I talked to you about the butterfly effect.
Don't talk down to me.
Mean potatoes guy over here. We can't just give people with a ton of money just a break in life, man.
What they did was
the
not
most frustrating
What they did was not right, but I'm just saying I don't believe it's a crime that should send someone to prison.
So what's the punishment?
Well, you're
Let me
wrong.
guess, a big fine that they can pay.
I think you just don't like rich people.
No, I'm just saying, Doug, that it's an even playing field. Like if somebody's swindling a company and bribing people to get that's illegal, and they go to jail for that.
How is it different than lying on a resume to take a job away from somebody else? Should all those people go to jail?
Well, with the resume, there's a $500,000 check attached to it when you talk to the recruiter. Then maybe yes, that is a little.
Well, what
bit
if there
big.
wasn't, and you got a job you didn't deserve, and someone else didn't get it?
Doug, they're not even the
That's
same.
not what we're talking
It's
about.
not even remotely close, I have to say.
I'm just saying this kind of thing happens all the time in many different businesses where you buy a favor. It just does. That's part of the American system. Unfortunately, it's not fair. But that's part of the world we live in. And if you're going to throw everybody in jail, whoever wrote a check to get a favor for their child or their husband or wife, then you're going to have an awful lot of people in jail.
Good. That's how I like it.
All right. Meanwhile, you can't walk down the street unaccompanied without a firearm in this city, and those people aren't going to jail. You're okay with that, too?
They should. They should go to jail, too. There's a lot of people that need to go to jail. We start with Lori Loughlin.
Okay.
That's where you start, Doug.
Yeah, she's a real threat to us all, I know. A real threat.
Well, I don't know why you'd be defending an old liberal like her anyways.
Well, I don't care about her politics.
Have you guys been trading the new Bitcoin ETFs?
Doug, you've been working on that.
My son has been talking to me a little bit about that.
Which one?
Greg, I
Vaughn's going?
don't understand it necessarily. He says his phone just constantly mines for Bitcoins in the background, and over the years, maybe he'll have a few, and I don't get it.
We're hip deep in fusion. We can't be bothered.
Right. Well, are you into this Bitcoin thing?
Yeah, and I actually feel like I might get a headache describing it to you, so I'm going to...
Yeah, I'd probably get a headache listening.
I don't know it either.
So, but watch out for BitB, just FYI. So, yesterday you guys were talking about what's the difference between old money and new money.
Yeah.
And I would just say that if you don't know what the difference is, then you're probably in a position, like socioeconomically speaking, where it's sort of irrelevant to
you elitist pig.
And for someone, I think, like me, to try and explain it to you, you just wouldn't understand the difference, and you just, it just sounds like they both have a lot of money.
What's your net worth, Licks?
I think if there's one person who would understand the nuance, it would be Tim.
Oh, gosh. What's your net worth, Licks?
Let me know, Doug, and I'll drop them. You just let me know.
Well, let me be clear. I don't want to necessarily distance myself from Daddy Yasser, but the news that broke yesterday out of the country of Canada is just news at this point. It's accusations. There has not been any sort of conviction, and I just want to put that out there. That's all.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks.
Hey, by the way, F the USGA. Since when do we let the USGA rule our friggin' golf lives?
Well, I don't.
Right?
I play by whatever rules I want to play by. They don't rule my life. I figure if I pay the money to play, I'll set my own rules. Unless I'm gambling, of course. Right. And I don't gamble.
Well, they're ruining the game of golf.
Well, how's it been ruined?
Rollback?
Yeah. Why don't you narrow the fairways? Huh?
Why don't they?
Narrow the fairways?
Why do we want golf to be harder?
Well, ask the USGA. It's like in baseball. It's like saying, "Oh, there's too many home runs. Let's make the center field like 600 feet away." Do you think that's a good idea, Doug?
Well, are they talking about for tournaments, or are they talking about for the recreational player, just a weekend warrior?
Oh my God.
Okay, pot him down. Pot him down. Cut his mic.
I gave him a wide berth.
You sure did.
You do your thing, Doug. I wanted to make sure that
you can take him in small doses.
Great call.
Yeah, KG and O-Town and Mr. Licks have an alliance.
It's always a pleasure to hear from him.
So they're going to make the courses more difficult on the tour? Is that what he's talking about?
I think he's probably talking about the rollback of the golf ball, so the ball won't be going as far, and I think it starts in 2028-ish.
But is that for the tour, or it's for everybody?
Everybody.
Okay.
they did a recent video. I don't know if this is recent. About Rory using the rolled back system, and he only carried it 240 or 250. Did you see that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With the new ball or with like his old clubs?
It might have been his old club. It might have been
Chris
an old
Simmons?
club. I can't remember what it was.
My 7-iron's going to be in real trouble.
You think he might be going 120 with the 7?
If that. If Rory's carrying it 240 with his driver, I'm screwed.
Don't you think there'll be a lot of people bogart their old golf balls? Buy a whole bunch now and
How
just
can
play with those?
I deep down, when it's kind of like Tom Brady's broadcast career, I just don't believe it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Remember when square grooved clubs were the thing? With that
Nike had
change?
one of those, I think.
Well, you're talking about the vertical grooves, right, Doug?
No, there were square grooved clubs on your irons, so that I guess that the ball would get more compression or back up.
God almighty, I was in the simulator this weekend. Guy, and you might have played with him too. Matty Moe, I'll give him public, not his name's Matt Morris, but it's not the former Cardinal pitcher, who hits the hell out of the ball, but he had a new driver. And I'm still hitting it around my standard, so it isn't a simulator thing. And he hit a ball with his new driver, 354. Going, what
is that the guy at Family Golf, the tall guy at
no, he's not a Family Golf, but you might have met him and played with him before.
I may have.
Good guy, but I mean, either way, holy crap! And he's like, "Oh, this new driver's," and don't get me wrong, he'd still be hitting it a hell of a long way without it. It's not the driver, but God Almighty, the distance on these things.
That doesn't bother me for the amateur player. Play with it.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm pro rollback at all. I'm concerned it's going to ruin the game. I guess deep down though, I just don't think it's going to happen when push comes to shove. I just don't think this is going to happen.
I could see where they would have very tight rules on the professional level. Very much so with clubs and balls and what you can and can't have, but for the average guy and for the masses, let them play whatever it takes to play the best golf you can. That's when it's most fun.
Plowhawk Reluctant Cuck's not happy with you.
Oh, cool.
Were you reading it? I don't know if you were reading it.
No, I don't have the text line in front
of me. It was old clubs. Plows, you should probably pay attention to the videos he watches before he brings them up on the air. That's from the Reluctant Cuck.
I mean, we're doing this live on air. Like, I figured I'd just bring it up, and that's what this show is.
It does make you appreciate just how good the Bobby Joneses and the Sam Sneads and the Walter Hagens were, and even in the Jack Nicklaus era.
Yeah.
How well they played with such antiquated clubs now.
Right. And like the greens, weren't they pretty fuzzy greens back in the day? Kind of look
furry.
Yeah, kind of
Doug Furry.
I don't know.
Remember
if they
their
were
balls
furry.
too? God.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Balata was a big deal 25 years ago.
I don't notice the greens being much different today as when I was a kid, but the clubs are a lot different.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely on that.
I think they had agronomy figured out way back when.
Mr. Licks being into Bitcoin is the least surprising thing ever. Bitcoin, NBA cards, and Mitsubishi Eclipses are the calling card of these Afton Poors. That's from Danny Tanner. Mr. Licks is in Afton Poor and he has a Mitsubishi Eclipse. That's very specific. I thought he was at the Our Lady of the Pillar pickup line.
Could have been his next door neighbor.
When did Mitsubishi stop making
You say that's
cars?
false, KG Noton? I know you're in an alliance.
Yeah, if you ain't got any haters, you ain't popping.
So Warson Woods Wacko and Iggy are in an alliance?
Against Licks and I.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it because you're so well heeled yourself?
I'm just a Jeffco South City poor.
Oh, I don't think so. Well, you may be Jeffco, but nothing wrong with that. Plenty of people in South City aren't poor.
This one is.
So why would you align with someone who's so fabulously wealthy?
It's just nice to have him take me under his wing.
Oh.
Maybe one day I can be on his level.
Yeah, it's like the theory, you hang out with millionaires, you'll be the next millionaire.
Yeah, it's like an apprentice thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Dirty Chewbacca says this guy's ruining the show, but I don't know who he's talking about.
I think, based on Dirty Chewbacca's history, I think it might be KG.
Oh.
Really? KG Noton just filled in when Iggy called in sick today.
Dirty Chewbacca, they don't like much.
Oh, is that right?
It might be Licks. I mean, you might be talking about Licks.
Let's see. I say we just skip putting people in jail and go straight to the death penalty, and we can start with Mr. Licks. That's from Hoosier Daddy. Beer Cat says Plowsy just hates anyone with money. Licks is mad his family can't buy his way into a Popeye's chicken. Get back to the loading dock douchebag. That's from Beer Cats.
I got plenty of people with a lot of money that are like, I just like it to be an even playing field. So when Doug brought that up, I thought it was a perfect time to bring up that they should all be playing on an equal playing field. If this was a random Joe Schmo, they're going to see jail time. And that you can disagree, and
I agree about the level playing
right.
field.
I don't know who would be right in that
I
scenario.
totally agree that everyone should be playing on a level playing field. I just agree on certain crimes should go to jail and certain crimes should not. And I think trying to buy your way into a college should not put you in prison.
I can't disagree with that either. It's to the extreme, but certainly the story isn't just. It's more than what you said. So I'm glad we can find common ground.
We found it, I feel.
We found it.
Oh, that's great. Reaching across the
A
aisle.
little bit of détente here.
I like Popeye's chicken. It's tasty.
Perestroika.
It's too spicy.
Oh, come on.
It's way too spicy. I don't taste the chicken, I just taste the spice. But I would like to have enough money to have a franchise.
Can we create a TMA jail so when Doug suspends us, we can go somewhere for 2 days and we get to get away from our families and have sex with other listeners? Thanks. That's from Buzz. Doug, would you like to set up?
Probably rent a room somewhere.
If that means no cell phones for them, I think it's actually a win for us too.
Because then they wouldn't text in and call.
Yeah, actually get a 2-day suspension.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
You think some of these eggheads would actually like to go to jail with another gentleman?
10 of them lined up with sleeping bags, ready to go.
I guess that's, we could probably make that happen if we really thought.
That's hot, man. They're yearning with gay lust.
Yeah.
By hanging with Mr. Licks, KG aspires to be an asshat. I love you, KG, but you can do better. That's from the Pope.
Roll the rock.
I respectfully disagree, Pope, but I love you too, buddy.
Okay.
Nice.
The more you talk on this show, the more people hate you.
That's true.
I learned that the hard way.
All right. Speaking of being hated by listeners, Jackson and I in 48 minutes will experience it. Doug, it's called Balloon Party, and it's down the hallway. We'll deal with it. Let me tell you something. You're going to earn your keep today, boy.
I'm trying.
I showed Doug a screenshot of the Post-Dispatch's sports page today. Holy crap.
What do you pick? I mean, it's so much, right?
So the big image, I don't know if I showed you this, Jackson. Plowhawk, you're on the other side of the day, so you can't see it. So it's Benjamin Hockman's column. Nico Giacchini defined the spirit of St. Louis City. Okay, so how do you replace him? Red Panda is performing at Mizzou on Thursday and Saturday. That's the next story. Kasperi Kapanen out for 4 weeks with a lower body injury as Adam Gaudette's been called up.
And they say there's nothing going on in St. Louis.
I love the St. Louis City. Like, they're forcing this down. Like, nobody knows who that player was. Where's the money?
City fans do. He's one of their stars.
Where's the money that they got going? Is it helping the roster? Like,
Most of it goes
I
to
don't
them. Some
understand
goes back
those
to the league.
trades.
Some
Okay.
goes to the MLS, but they get a big chunk of it.
I'm wondering what percentage goes to the team and what percentage goes to the league.
Most to the team. I think I heard 5 or 10% to the league, something like that.
I just think it's a weird league to where you want to get rid of your good players.
They don't.
To get
the good
money.
players want to leave and go play in better leagues in Europe and get more money.
That's a tough battle.
That's going to
MLS
happen
to
with the
deal
MLS. A player gets good, especially if he's young, he's going to go somewhere else and make a lot more
I was
money.
texting with producer Joe right after the season. I go, so what? Because he was really down about the sweep at the hands of Sporting KC. I know you were
yeah,
as well. And then Gabe was excited about it when we told him it happened. And he said, well, the tough thing is they're probably going to sell some players. And he goes, that's the model that they'll have to do, kind of like the second Bundesliga or Dortmund or something like that.
Gosh, don't bring up the second.
They bring in young players and sell them.
They sell them off.
Bundesliga, second Bundesliga.
Right.
But so basically, it's and I don't want to.
No, you're right.
I'm going to
I
drag
know where
him
you're
anyway.
going, and you're right.
But this is a minor league system, then, right? Like, no. I'm
On the
let me
world
finish.
stage, I guess it is.
This is a minor league system. Do we call the Memphis Cardinals a professional baseball team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we?
It's professional. They get
I
paid.
call it a minor league baseball team.
You can be both.
Oh, I don't know. So, yeah, I just think the business model is weird where they make money by adding more franchises, and the franchises make money by selling their good players.
Yeah.
What's left?
Well, the question again is, are you entertained by it? And
I'm
if
not
you
gonna
are, then it's worked. And if you aren't, then it hasn't worked.
I will plead the fifth on that question.
Okay. But
The
it
answer
is
no,
tough
I'm
being
not entertained.
It's tough being a fan of a minor league team
can't keep
because a
track of
player
anybody.
gets really good and then they're gone.
Like for a Joe Schmo like me who has a real hard time, it's even more difficult seeing the cycle every year of players and players. Now, I'm not saying that could be a trend, but
My grandfather Hinshaw was a huge sports fan, and he lived in Wichita, and he was so frustrated that his favorite AAA team, the Wichita Arrows, they'd get a really good player, and then he'd be gone just like that.
Oh, who were they the farm club for?
I want to say it was the Cubs way back then.
Oh, is that right?
But I'm not completely sure on that. Cubs are one of the Texas teams. But he was so frustrated by that. They'd get a really good player and go, wow, I got to go see this guy, and he'd be gone the next day.
Cleveland Indians and Chicago Cubs.
Dump out of that.
Guardians.
Darren, there are winners and there are whiners in life. The key to success is figuring out how to be in the first category. Stick with me, son. KG, you have hitched your wagon to a snake oil salesman because you are a vulnerable South City poor. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
I could have guessed who that was about the first half sentence. I love the Wacko, by the way.
So is Iggy in your alliance? I feel like it's you and the Warson Woods Wacko who are in the alliance. Then KG No 10 and Mr. Licks are in their alliance. I'm just trying to file these gangs.
I don't know if Iggy is allowed in either alliance. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm a follower, not a leader of these alliances, so I don't know who's in, who can make the cut. I'm certainly Warson Woods Wacko all day.
It seems like you have love for everyone involved.
Yeah, because I understand, like, Licks loves LIV Golf. I love LIV Golf. I thought he brought up great points on Laughlin. You know, you start and end with her getting prison time. But yeah, I think their personalities of both are cool. Obviously, I'd hang out with Wacko 10 out of 10 times. So.
Would you?
Oh, he's great people, man.
Okay.
St. Louis has a soccer team? Cool. Can we get back to ass-eating and cucking conversations? That's from the Pope.
Damn.
Yeah.
MLS is basically the XFL. That's from Milagro Tequila Lister of the month of January 2023, Beer Cats.
I don't know. I think that's an overstatement.
In what?
You're saying,
Well, they did, one of the teams just signed probably the most popular player in the world.
Yeah.
You're filling some of the stadiums around the country.
They also sold their entire soul to him as well. I mean, he get paid by Amazon, he get paid by Miami. He owns that franchise now.
Apple's the big one.
Worth every penny.
I think I agree with Jackson, but like there's a huge price to pay. It's not like Messi said, okay, I'm going to make the same amount that I'm making now. I'm just going to go.
Well, perhaps that was the first step into elevating this league into the status where it wants to go.
I did love the David Beckham documentary. I can't get over how good that was. And I didn't
Islands
know.
in the Stream with Posh. Doug, oh my.
I did not realize how much I'd like it. I didn't know enough about David Beckham.
Yeah, I know, but they danced to it together.
Bee Gees, I think, wrote that.
He has a little cabin where he has cookouts by himself.
Does he?
I love the relationship between him and Messi, so it made sense, like Messi's at the tail end, getting into a business venture like this, not a terrible idea for him.
Hey guys, a while ago you were talking about going to jail. Can I go with Paulie? He does this thing with the garlic and uses a razor blade. It liquefies in the pan. That's from Mitch. How about Popeye's chicken? Is that good for your cumstein?
No.
Calipari, Izzo, and if Patino was in here, we're talking Italian special, we're talking rigatoni, marinara.
I can't believe those guys sat around and talked about food.
I'm confused. Like, when was what did Vital? When was that? And like, what was the context?
He just likes Italian American coaches. I mean, it's really it's that cut and dry.
There can't be any topic where that soundbite made any sense.
He's just being a goofball. That's how he made his millions. By being funny.
MLS is like the XFL. The MLS product's absolutely horrendous. I bought the package. I watch City like once. I'll watch EPL all day. That's from Harrison's brother Master. He doesn't really care for much.
You know, the AFL used to be a dog league, too, until they went out and they signed the Joe Namath and some other big stars. They took them from the NFL. Next thing you know, they merged, and people have long forgotten about the AFL being a minor league of professional football. Same thing with the American League in baseball. They were certainly the junior circuit. And then they got some big-time players, and Babe Ruth rolled around, and Ty Cobb, and all of a sudden they're just as good as the National League.
Yeah, I wouldn't say MLS's product is horrendous. I enjoy watching it, and we have a team here, so it's easy to root for a club. But yeah, I mean, when you look at it in the context of what the EPL does or La Liga in Spain, yeah, it's not the same.
Bundesliga?
Bundesliga, it's right up there. Serie A,
But
Serie A, Doug.
But how many people in the fan base here really watch those other leagues to compare it and to know that, that crossing pass wasn't quite as sharp as it would have been in the second Bundesliga.
The English Premier League is very popular in America.
That one is. That's like the best league, right?
Yes, the Premier League is the best league. Champions League is very popular.
And
That's
is it just night and day when you watch one of those games as to when you watch City play?
There's a
How bad would City lose to a good EPL team?
6-0, 7-0, 8-0.
Really?
Yeah. Like if City played Man City, yeah, it's raps. They're not. It's not even gonna be close.
What do you mean raps?
I love that.
Don't you ever say raps again in here?
City has Joe Klaus, who's a great player for City, but Man City couldn't
make the team.
Erling Haaland, who's like the best striker in the world.
Yeah, and probably making $100 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. It's like an NBA team playing against a team in Austria. You know?
But that's still okay, right? College football doesn't measure up to the NFL, but we still love college football.
Right, but they're only playing against college football teams. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying the MLS product isn't horrendous.
Yeah.
I like watching it.
Doug, they would park the bus and still lose by 20. It's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood. You like that? Park the bus.
I don't think they'd lose by 20.
No. But they'd lose by about how much Man City wanted them to lose by.
Dirty Chewbacca, Jackson, you were saying he's not a fan of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He says, can we get a TMA boxing match? I want to fight soccer guy. It's from Dirty Chewbacca.
Well, who would represent soccer?
Yeah, but like
that's Joe again, isn't it?
He's back in the squared circle.
I couldn't think of anyone else.
Back in the ring?
He's got a lot of ring rust.
I think Joe is very knowledgeable. I'm very confident he's knowledgeable about soccer, and I also think he's passionate about City, but he also recognizes, what it is, I guess.
We had him on Sports Sunday because he could levitate above the desk.
That's the one thing why I respect Joe is because
his levitation.
That, along with he stands by what he likes and doesn't like, and his rules of not getting married and not dating
That's what I'm saying, man.
With no apologies.
As stupid as it may seem or sound at the time, he follows
he's
it by the letter of the law.
You're exactly right.
Man of principle.
He's a soccer guy. I'm not a soccer guy, but I respect his passion for it. So
he's rigid in his beliefs.
Yeah, me and Joe probably wouldn't be able to hang out all day, but it's a guy that I can put a little respect on.
Some of that stubbornness may have been a result of getting hit in the head on the stoop by a police officer.
No, that's right.
Nightstick.
I think I was in high school at the time of that.
Plowsy, what if you hung out with Joe and K-Berg and you guys all kind of chopped it up?
K-Berg.
Joe would jump off the Stand the Man Bridge willingly.
That's what you say
I've never
now?
met K-Berg either, but again, Prod Joe just stands by. He doesn't like K-Berg. If K-Berg was around him, he'd say, hey, I don't like you.
But what if you were just there to chop it up?
Yeah, chop it up.
Don't think he'd care. And again, that's the respect level for Joe. Once he says something, he means it, and he's sticking with it.
You can email in your thoughts the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design, air, heating, and cooling email today coming your way in 20 minutes. Then Jackson and I are going to go down the hallway. We'll be fine. It will be fine. Don't worry about it, Doug. We've been doing this for now 25 months. Let Doug know what we have on this Thursday.
Doug, today we have a Little Piddles Thursday thoroughfare.
That's nothing. That's like you have nothing. Can't you at least chop it up today?
There's so much going on in the world of sports.
I might have to offer $50 for the audience today.
I don't want to say it,
I saw that front page of the Post-Dispatch this morning, and I go, oh boy, like how's Randy Carricker doing it? That's what I was thinking to myself.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Guest.
Yeah.
NFL, I guess. When in doubt, go NFL.
Well, when we were in a break, they were doing the fight, the trivia section, where a listener goes up against Randy, and I really laughed hard because Dan McLaughlin, the questions answered, and like there's some silence, and Dan goes, well, Matthew, have you tallied the points? And he said it so like stately, and I just thought it was so funny.
Randy Carricker is great on that game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Oh, he's an encyclopedia.
He's got a memory like an elephant.
Telling you, Noel Picard.
Bernie Federko?
Yeah. Noel Picard said that about Bernie. That Bernie Federko got a memory like an elephant.
In what context would that come up?
Because Bernie does have a memory of an elephant. Okay. He knows everyone's name.
Yeah. He would stand behind the goal.
That was his office. That was Bernie's office. Behind the net, dishing out pucks.
My hockey knowledge comes from Doug saying all this crap from over the years. That's the extent of my hockey knowledge.
Bernie's office. Great player. Underrated in the big picture of the NHL.
Yeah, I agree with that. Never was on a team that went to the cup final or anything.
Just as great a guy as he was a player.
But it's a standard operating procedure for hockey guys. Iggy has texted. He's got a team in now.
I saw that text, and he said, I fell asleep. I looked at it was 2 minutes after he said, I'm sick, that Tim goes, hey, can you send me your DraftKings team?
He just passed right out.
that dude had to have been sleep texting.
I think we put the lineup, Iggy's lineup, in addition to the other two, and we have like a little three-way battle.
Are they not teed off yet?
No, they tee off at 10:30.
Okay.
So what do we do? We put Iggy's lineup in?
Yeah, we'll make it a three-way battle.
Ooh, hot three-ways.
All right.
He's got Lanto Griffin as well. Didn't somebody have Lanto Griffin? Doug, did you have Lanto?
I poured hot tea all over my writing, so I'm not sure.
Ryan Moore, Taylor Montgomery, very chalky this week. Tom Kim and Sungjae. What's chalk festival?
We've all got him.
There was nothing.
That worries me. I got Sungjae in my golf pool. Maybe it'll be a chalk week. Watch him miss the cut now. All right, let's break. We will come back with the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Then Jackson and I. If you want to win and dictate the balloon party topic today, I'll do the $35 Venmo because we really could use a wide berth Thursday. And that's not your fault. That's not for lack of... I just don't know what the hell you would talk about if you have to talk about sports.
Yeah. I mean, I could break down the Pascal Siakam trade to the Pacers, but...
Could you interested in that?
Yeah.
Good or bad?
Sick now.
Well, they just better sign him in the offseason.
You could say that about almost any trade, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, it worked with Keith Kachuk and Doug Waite. They came back.
Well, I guess they did briefly. Yeah, they both did.
Walter did. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Send it in, and the next thing you know, your Venmo has $35 in it. And since I've been winning at gambling the last week or two, now it's just like coming out of my bank account. I have nothing in my Venmo. This is a mess, Doug. So this is, I guess, I'll have to talk to Mark Melton and see if this can be a non-reimbursed business expense. I don't know.
Well, with Circa out there, you got a chance to win big.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Weave.
Yeah,
man.
How about that?
Weave, man. Doug wants to talk about the world's largest sports book in Las Vegas, which is now in Illinois.
I see the guy on TV commercials now, the guy who started it.
Yeah, Derek.
Did you meet him when you were out there?
Yeah, he came on the show.
Yeah, he was on the show.
Oh, that was him.
He might have been in the Hamptons, but yeah, he was on.
He was on.
He's a folk hero out in Vegas.
Like you'll go to the bar at night, and there's Derek, the owner of the casino.
Yeah, he just looked like the guy next door.
He's hanging out at the bar for real.
Just having a beer. He'll come and talk to you, talk about gambling, sports. He's awesome. They're all awesome over there at the Circa.
He's friends with that Jamie Rivers
Resort. Oh, yeah. Good friends with Jamie Rivers. Circa Sports app, sports betting the way it should be. Big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service around. As we just talked about Derek, the owner of Circa. He's a sports gambler. He loves sports gambling, and everyone at Circa loves sports gambling. So they made an app created for sports gamblers where they encourage you to shop the lines. Take a look around some of the other Illinois sports books, and then come back to Circa. You're going to like the lines at Circa. I can almost guarantee it. That's the Circa Sports app, which is now available in Illinois. Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Glenn Betts Jewelers, in business in St. Louis since 1941 and operated by the third and fourth generation of the Betts family. Betts family, just wonderful people. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally, not sold. You'll meet Craig and David Betts, third and fourth generations of the Betts family tree, to help you out when you go into Glenn Betts Jewelers, which is located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester into Pear. They get to know your likes, your lifestyle, and who and what you love. Those are the 3 L's. We are less than a month away from Valentine's Day. What a wonderful gift it would be if you got it from Glenn Betz Jewelers. Online at GLENNBETZ Jewelers.com. It's GlennBetzJewelers.com. In the jewelry business, there is good, better, and then there is Betz. The Betz family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. You'll get to know them, and you will like them as well. Glenn Betz Jewelers. Online at GlennBetzJewelers.com. Right behind their building is plenty of parking. If you go there on Manchester and De Pere, it's Glenn Betz Jewelers, a mile east of the 270 Manchester exit in De Pere. We'll take a commercial break, come back with our 9 o'clock hour. That'll start at about 9:37. This is The Morning After, presented to you by Brian Crouppen.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Naturals is a local family-owned business that takes pride in offering all-natural dog treats crafted with minimal ingredients and bursting with flavors such as peanut butter, chicken, and pumpkin. Their dental chews are designed to promote thorough teeth and gum cleaning, and the rawhide-free chews are gentle on dogs with sensitive stomachs. Visit naturals.com and enter the code TMA at checkout to enjoy an exclusive 15% discount along with free shipping on orders over $30. Don't miss out on these fantastic savings. Go to GNAWTURALS.com and apply TMA at checkout.
The St. Louis Golf Expo is the can't-miss event of the year, giving golfers their first chance to see and swing clubs, which will be the talk of the golf world in 2024. Want to go for free? Go to the TMA app or TMASTL.com. Enter keyword golf, and you could win tickets to the St. Louis Golf Expo. Welcomed by SSM Health, February 2nd through the 4th at St. Charles Convention Center. Take advantage of the lowest prices of the year on brand-name clubs and equipment from the industry's leading manufacturers. Test out new golf clubs on an indoor driving range, lined with expert reps from the top manufacturers in the game, complete with skills contest and unbelievable prizes. Enjoy free lessons from top pros, a fully stocked 19th hole lounge, plus special areas for the kids, golf, fitness, and other exciting activities. Enter now on the TMA app and find out more at TMASTL.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at JeffLotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of Rosé Prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
Chow Chow on the Hill is your one-stop shop for all your pet supplies. As soon as you walk through their doors, you and your pet are considered family and treated with superior service and personalized attention. Jessica is the owner and is a certified pet nutritionist and is passionate about educating her clients on the product that will keep your pets happy and healthy. My favorite part about Chow Chow is its connection with All Paws Safe Haven, an organization that helps shelter animals find forever homes. To learn more about Chow Chow, visit CIAOCHOWSTL.com or stop by and tell them Plowsy sent you.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here right now with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch to start working with you, James. It couldn't have been easier to make that switch to start saving money.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim, and we appreciate your business. This is the time to save money. My goodness, we're all feeling it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, etc. So if you've noticed that your insurance rate has gone up, I want to stress how easy it is to get a proposal from us by going online at carltoninsurance.net.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency online at carltoninsurance.net. Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Yeah, that plowboy's an interesting dude, but he loves animals, and he wants to help adoptable dogs find homes. With TMA listeners, catch Plowsy live on the TMA socials each week, highlighting a dog up for adoption. From Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs, St. Charles County Pet Adoption Center, and All Paws Safe Haven. Plowsy's Pup of the Week, brought to you by Chow Chow on the Hill. Everything you need to keep your pet's tail wagging. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I'm gay.
Now.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Bill.
I like this return music.
Doug, is it the Eurythmics or the Arithmetics?
I think it's the Eurythmics.
Nice, that's correct.
I think Marilyn Manson had a better version.
Well, this was the original.
Yeah, but he remade it.
Yeah.
So, two versions of it.
I'm fine with the remakes. You get a popular song, redo it a little bit.
This is a banger, though, man.
Makes money for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you, Jackson, they're coming in. The emails are coming in for both Balloon Party and QFTA.
Phew.
I didn't see that. This one just came in at 9:29. It's for QFTA. I don't think this would be good for Balloon Party. But I didn't see this. Plowhawk, this might be Plowhawk or KG Tana, maybe Jackson, I suppose. Tim and Jackson, hope all is well. Did either of you see the New York Post article regarding Erica stepping down as CEO of Barstool and Portnoy's response to the article on Twitter? In short, Portnoy sent a screenshot of the New York Post reaching out for comment, along with the article being posted about 20 minutes later, stating Portnoy could not be reached for comment. Portnoy noted his frustration at having limited time to respond, judging whether the short fuse is fair or unfair. Wouldn't be my place. Fortunately, no one from the media has reached out to me. Given your familiarity, any thoughts would be appreciated. Jackson sent that link that she was stepping down. Honestly, I did not read it, and I don't think we discussed it on the show. I think I went through a list of articles when you sent links a day or two ago, and we just didn't read that one, and I didn't read it in advance of the show. But if what this gentleman, Doug, it's the Sultan of Duck Butter who sent me this email, T. McKernan inside STL.com, you can send yours for QFTA or for Balloon Party, is true. If that is all accurate, I would agree with Portnoy. I would be very frustrated because it paints in the reader's mind, intentionally or unintentionally, but certainly subconsciously in the reader's mind, that he's not commenting, which insinuates that he is unhappy that she is leaving the company. That's how I would read it. If it's Dave Portnoy could not be reached for comment, that implies that he's not returning calls, and then that implication is he's not happy, and that would be BS if he got a message and then in 20 minutes, anybody, it doesn't have to be somebody who's got the responsibilities he has, anybody, to turn around. And so I would agree with that. I don't know the story. With the data and the information I have, that is my response. You boys may know more about it.
I don't know more about it outside of what you just spoke about. But yeah, I mean, if you reach out for someone for comment and then give them 15 minutes to respond, and then when they don't, you post the article that you've clearly already written and say he couldn't be reached immediately for comment. Yeah, that's like...
Now, in fairness to the New York Post, if they have the story and it's important to them to break it, I mean... Why, I don't know, but whatever. I mean, that is kind of what it's entertaining as hell, but it's a gossip tabloid for the most part. You want to get the story first. That's part of the game, I guess. And so you don't want to wait for Dave Portnoy to respond before you post it. And so therefore, I don't know what the exact language is. But New York Post just learned of this within the last 15 minutes, and we reached out to Dave Portnoy and have not yet heard back. That is wordy. Space doesn't matter, and online, this isn't a newspaper print story, so that's wordy. But to me, that's more accurate than he could not be reached for comment, which implies that he's avoiding commenting.
Yeah, but they weren't breaking the story. Nardini, or I'm sorry, I don't know her new last name.
Doug, what's her new last name?
Ardini.
What was it?
Who were you?
I believe it's Ayers.
Ayers? Okay. She released a video saying that she was stepping down, and the New York Post was just attaching that video.
I saw her walking on the sidewalk, doing a selfie.
That's what the story article is about, so they weren't really breaking anything. That's why I think it's a little confusing.
Why is she leaving?
I would agree with
Why
you.
is she leaving?
She didn't say specifically. She seemed happy. I bet she has another venture that's going to pay her a ton of money, too. She dominated at Barstool, and I've not liked Dave Portnoy at all my entire time, but I'll defend him on this. Like, the New York Post they've done a disservice to journalism for what they've done with Barstool. Like, they go at him at every step of the way.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
They've had issues in the past, and I remember one time he did a pizza review and ran into a New York Post writer that grilled and killed him in his last article, and they didn't say anything. So, like, they love stirring the pot.
Well, he gets
New York
clicks.
Post did it. Yeah, he gets clicks.
They also post a lot about Paige Sporanic. Like, I think there's a correlation.
Sure,
there.
absolutely.
So why does the world care that the Barstool CEO took another job somewhere?
Well, their office, like the whole thing is kind of like a reality TV show
Absolutely.
with the inner office stuff that gets a ton of views on YouTube and social clips and stuff. So stuff like that is big news.
It's a smart move. I don't know I don't know if their influence for that was Stern Show when it used to be on E. You watched that, right?
A little bit,
back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I remember our boss, Alan Cohen, telling me he watched that, which was a very eye-opening moment when I was in his office. But I always thought that was brilliant, which I would love to do on this show, and which has nothing to do with Barstool, although I guess it's worked for Barstool. I'm just not a big consumer of Barstool. I'm not anti-Barstool. It's just not my thing. And I always thought that was great. When guests would come in, they would have these behind the scenes. And this is the 90s, man, much less now. So I guess that's just kind of one of the deals. I would imagine you sign something when you start working there that it's understood that your life is an open book, and that's just the way.
Yeah, a camera can be in your face at any moment.
But hey, that's how they've built their empire.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it probably is influenced by. I mean, it'd be tough to think that Portnoy at his age, in the industry he was working in, wasn't listening to Stern or at least aware of him at the time. Like what, 2002 or 3 or 4. Yeah, I would assume that there was some influence there. But yeah, their whole lives, like the whole thing, the inner office stuff is part of the whole deal. So the CEO stepping down, who does do content stuff as well, is going to be,
Isn't the TMZ show, TV show, kind of like that too? Where they look like they're sitting around the office and the lawyer asks them what's up. And
the guy drinking the water bottle.
Yeah. I mean, to
that.
an extent, but I mean, all those people are replaced and replaceable. They're not personalities like at Barstool where they become, either hated or loved. And then you have, I guess, and again, I'm kind of giving an opinion on something that I don't follow all that closely, but Portnoy, Big Cat, PFT, and KFC are kind of the founding fathers.
Yeah.
I guess PFT came along a little later than those three.
Hank, the guy who produces.
And Riggs was in early, right?
I think he said with us.
Friend of the
he was
show.
Employee number 16 or something.
Yeah.
So he was early, for sure. Harvard guy.
He was doing politics in his beginnings at Barstool.
Riggs
Do they still do politics, or they not get into that?
Nah, they're not into that anymore.
Yeah, it's probably a smart play. Is Barstool as popular now as it was 5 years ago? I'm asking if this isn't like it is.
I think so.
Okay. I have no idea. What's that, Plowek?
Even more popular.
Oh, is that right? Really?
Oh, yeah. I like about 20% of the characters. So, I'm not a big Barstool guy, but I think what they do is amazing.
Yeah, what they've done with their Barstool TV and a lot of their YouTube stuff is just remarkable. They did that stream with Jersey Jerry going for the hole-in-one. Had people like Tom Brady reaching out. Like, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, so you can hate it all you want. I do hate a lot of the content they have, but what they've done is...
What do you hate?
I think a lot of personalities are forced. There's a lot of personalities that kind of have that New York aggressive, and all the Frank rants are completely fake. Like those get to me. Like they're completely fake and scripted rants about him getting mad during a game. Like those things are really cringy. So they do a lot of cringy things, and there's a lot of like talent there that I just can't stand. And they give a huge platform to it. But I love Big Cat, love Jersey Jerry, love Riggs and what Foreplay does. So there are portions that I do like, but I mean, whoever that long-haired, black-haired guy, long-hair Philly fan, he is the most annoying. Max,
yeah.
He's one of the most annoying characters I've ever come across.
Do you hate Max?
And all of it is fake. His whole personality, the whole persona is fake.
It's show business.
Yeah, it does come off a little
So
forced
it comes
with him.
off so forced. Every incomplete pass has to be a heart attack waiting to happen. That is cringy.
I love what they do with the gambling cave and the live streams.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when they're gambling and like seeing their live reactions, that's great.
Well, why don't we do some of that instead of being solely focused on this fusion research?
Yeah, I guess we
so
could.
Close.
We need them basketball Tigers to make another run.
Oh yeah, Jackson, you did it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I did. People.
And we did it at the house, my house, where Plowhawk and Iggy cheered for Alabama.
Yeah, I would not.
Doug, you came over, right? Jackson, you weren't on the show yet.
No, I wouldn't have been cool with that.
I think Gangster Pete was there. Gangster Pete. Yeah, and we watched the game together, and I guess we live streamed that. That was 2018-ish, I think.
That was fun as hell, yeah.
I talked to Jackson about doing it for the Mizzou Georgia game, and obviously it didn't happen, but that would have been a rough one.
I would be uncomfortable with the audience seeing how intense I am during a Missouri football game. I'm uncomfortable with how intense I am.
Really?
Yeah, it's really surprising to myself, and I'm sure to be alarming to the audience.
Well, I can tell you how you can get over that. It starts with a near-death experience. And then you realize that, it's not a big deal. You just kind of want no conflict. You want no arguing.
That's the secret to Doug Von Nirvana. It's a near-death experience.
Yeah, you just kind of want peace and pleasantness all the time. And whatever happens, all right, I'm here. I'm breathing. It's okay. The sun is up.
There's Doug Von Nirvana.
That's how it works.
You just need an NDE.
As you get older, you don't necessarily have to have the near-death experience. I think just as you get older, you kind of realize that I just don't want any stress or fighting or bickering or arguing or worried about things that don't really matter in the big picture.
Yeah.
Barstool is an ice cream shop. They provide all different flavors. You don't have to like all the flavors. Doug, that's from Sesame Timbers.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say because I like the Foreplay stuff. I think they're good. I've listened to one or two, pardon my takes, and enjoyed myself. And so, yeah, I think that's definitely the case.
Well, if they're going to put a camera on you and just try to shoot everything that you do to get your reaction, you can't just sit there and go, okay, that's all right.
Right.
How interesting is that going to be?
Right.
So people are going to act in an exaggerated way.
I like the
Otherwise,
Pat
you don't have
Beverly
a show.
podcast. Yeah, Pat Beverly, the Sixers player, he has a podcast with Barstool. I enjoy listening to it sometimes.
Bussin' with the Boys is pretty good with Taylor Lewan and Will Compton.
Yeah, I mean, McAfee was on Barstool for a while. Deion Sanders was on Barstool for a while.
McAfee's another one I can take in small doses.
Yeah.
He just has such an overwhelming personality. It's kind of like Mad Dog, where for a short bit, it's kind of entertaining, but after too much, it's like, take a breath, guy. You're wearing me out just watching.
I want to make it clear because some people get really defensive about personalities and shows they like, and I don't know what that's about, but I guess in a way it's kind of worked to our advantage because people will defend TMA or people on the show, so whatever, it's fine. It's not anti-Pat McAfee. I just personally, I don't get it. I realize it's killing it for him. I'm not anti-Pat. I'm just like, I don't see... For me, it doesn't appeal to me. But obviously, it appeals to a hell of a lot of people, so God bless him. That just, like the Barstool thing, I can get more than I can the McAfee thing. And McAfee comes from the Barstool family tree, so I understand that. And if anything, Pat's thing is he figured out the business of it. But the personality, I just am like, I wonder who that appeals to. People say the Barstool thing's bro, and then we talked a little bit about McAfee when the thing went on with him and Rogers a couple weeks ago, and how ESPN was going, oh my God, what are we going to do with this? Because we still have, 55 months left on the deal.
And people are saying McAfee's bro, but I don't feel like McAfee's bro. But maybe he's McAfee's bro. Hell, I don't know. What is bro, Doug?
I think he's kind of bro. He's kind of super macho. I think he probably appeals to the younger crowd who are very much into sports, extremely into sports, where everything is a big deal, and he makes it a big deal. I guess I can't imagine who else would watch, who else would be interested in that. You'd have to be really plugged into sports, where everything is important to you.
Lisa Ann is a huge fan of the Pat McAfee show. Huge fan.
No, and
We were
she's
in
plugged in,
Jamaica,
yeah.
and she was playing it on her phone.
Oh, is that right? Really?
Whole time. Yeah, she loves McAfee.
Yeah. Well, he's figured it out for sure.
Guys, stool scene's the best part, and bump up. What's that mean?
I don't know what bump up means.
I think bump up. They just chop it up.
Tim, is it frustrating to know that you could be as successful as Portnoy if only you had a team around you that could help you along the way?
That for Mr. Alexa?
That's my goal.
Winning tackle.
Oh, hate that
I've
guy.
lost my goal.
I think he could have been bigger than Portnoy.
I have to tell you, and I think we've talked about this a lot on QFTA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I tip my cap, but I have zero interest in not even like a sliver of interest in, but just, I'm sure like he has no interest in being a father. I have no interest in like having to hold up my phone and act. I couldn't.
There'd have to be wild money.
Well, there is. I'm sure he's God only knows how many, probably 9-figure net worth. But I realized that was done. That text was sent in. I thought it was initially a shot at me, but I guess it was a shot at the whatever. Probably,
the rest of us.
Yeah, I think probably more. The Pips, was it the who are the Pips? Who are the Pips?
Pete Iggy Plazzi.
Yeah,
Producers
but then
Incorporated?
Ibon was producer Joe and
International Brotherhood of Nitwits.
The non-gay.
Yeah.
No, I just.
What did PIP stand for?
Pete Iggy Plazzi?
Yeah.
Oh, but I thought it was Producers Incorporated.
Kids
I
Incorporated.
always
Poop
thought it was
heads or
just
something.
Plazzi Iggy.
So I just see that and was like, I don't have any interest in.
Yeah, I mean, he does a podcast with like two 22-year-old TikTok stars.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, BFF.
Yeah, BFF. One of them's dating Zach Bryan.
That's probably the key. You get somebody with a couple million
absolutely.
followers.
Yeah, I mean, I see what he, and not like I see it, no one else can. You don't have to be a wizard to see the plays that he makes. It's like Stern's hirings were not coincidental, in my opinion. So you recognize the strategies, and it does make sense. I'm just saying, just in general, I can't hold up my phone. Like when we talked about the person in St. Louis broadcasting who emailed me and said, you really need to be on social media. You have too big of a platform to not do that. And I'm like, to what? Show my kids, playing shitty hockey in the Bay? Like, I don't want to put my kids on that. And I don't really want to do that. And then like when the Blues lose to the Flyers on Martin Luther King Day, I'm not like going to be raging, I'll be like, I don't know. And then post it.
Yeah, like it'd be video of me not watching the game.
Right.
So I just can't do that.
Even if there's a chance that it would work, there's also a bigger chance that you're going to come up looking like an absolute tool.
Well, I'm glad
I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm not saying it's wrong that he does. It's not my personality.
McAfee got lucky because he snagged AJ Hawk, and no one can sit still and do nothing and say nothing quite like.
What does he do during that? Because I only see the clips, and it's usually Pat and Rogers, and then AJ's up there. But what goes on during the show? Because I don't watch the show.
He
nods.
Talk.
He nods a lot.
He nods.
But he has to do something.
He just
Otherwise,
tweeted
McAfee's smart enough to go, hey, it's probably time we lose an expense.
Let me find this. McAfee tweeted out yesterday, this whole conversation, and look at AJ Hawk. It's a minute and a half of him. He does this in the entire time. Just sit there.
Every now and then he
In the
offers a
camera.
little
Is that the
insight.
joke? Is that like a joke? Is that the deal?
I don't know. It's a great joke. Like, if it is, it's super meta.
But you
and I
can't
love
be
it.
too opinionated or you'll wind up like Aaron Rodgers where you get bounced.
But you have to say the and yeah and I agree in like just sentence or two.
But he's also not there, right? He's on like a Zoom.
Yeah, I think my whole
assume.
point is, why is he on camera?
Because it's a show for TV and the internet.
Somebody texted in AJ Hawk is deadpan comedy. It's Scissor Me Timbers. So is that what that is? Is it like
I
a
don't know
joke?
if he's trying to do that, but it works.
It's a good job if you can get it.
Yeah, just to sit there and just stare. Could be watching another show.
Yeah, that's great work.
Yeah. That probably pays a couple million a year. It's not a bad deal.
You think?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling Email of the Day. Buck Swope with a 1-goal lead. Keep your face to the sun and you will never see a shadow. It's what sunflowers do. Helen Keller. And that positivity is what Tim brings to the listeners' lives every day. That was a good strike. Good smash
Right in the
back there.
Hit that flush.
But this email is about the first time ever screamed for mercy in both pain and plus you.
Couple missing words there.
1981. An awesome day at Elephant Rocks. On the way back, we stopped at Stuckey's for gas, and that's where it got hot. I was like, gosh, Mr. Moss, your son Pete is about the best buddy I got. I'm not sure if we should sleep together whilst he's here sleeping in the back of the station wagon. Besides, my other buddy Butchie told me you are a horrible lay. I don't want to embarrass you, but he said your penis is really small.
Okay.
Well, that did it because he became angry. All of a sudden, a dilly came flying out of his shirt pocket, just like Phil Necro's emery board. No lube, no nothing. He took me drier than a desert sun.
It was Joe Necro that it happened to, not Phil.
Yeah, that was slander.
Right.
Bible? E is the first name, Jack is the middle name, and then the last name is Yelate.
Okay. Jack E. Ulate.
And Young. Hey guys, if I may interrupt, I need to issue a correction. I was recently informed that the Colts aren't on a bye this week and were in fact eliminated from the playoffs a couple of weeks ago. This is obviously news to me and I am fairly shaken. I'll be taking a brief sabbatical, a strodical, if you will, to process this information. Thanks, and you should more than likely stay tuned. That's our number one Asian intern, Brian Henshin, an apologetic bowl executive, #FreeProdJoe. That's tough when the beat reporter didn't know the team was out of the playoffs.
Well, he's been spending too much time at the high school fields.
Has he been to a game?
Oh, I'm sure he has. I would think. You would hope.
Hello, fellas. As you know, my New Year's resolution is to regrow my foreskin.
No.
I know it's going to be a tough road to hoe, but with a lot of hard work and stretching and pulling and the help of my butcher, Bertram, who supplies the sausage casings, I hope to have a new dong sweater within 2 to 11 months. Stay lubed and depubed. That's from the Calcified Ear.
Okay. Calcified Ear.
I've been dropping bombs. I'm sorry.
What kind of bombs?
What do you mean, like ass?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Jackson, open a door.
Thank you.
Dutch oven situation.
That's not going to smell. It's not going to smell. It's not going to.
Well, how do you know?
Because I can't smell it, and usually I can smell it.
But you said you were ill, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think. You don't smell it, Doug, right?
Your chair feel hot.
Nothing feels hot.
Doug, didn't you lose your sense of smell and taste and
Pretty much.
touch?
You ever burn your nostril hairs?
I don't smell
But
anything.
at least you don't get worked up about Missouri football.
If I smell it, it's got to really be rancid. It's got to really be hideous.
Look, I did the 23andMe DNA test, and it told me I had a ton of relatives I had no idea about. In hindsight, I probably should have brushed my teeth or at least gargled after finishing my shift at the Wentzville Coles Glory Hole before swabbing the inside of my cheek. There's a chance there could be some cross-contamination with a few dudes' seed. Anywho, it showed me that my stepdad is a very close relative, or he possibly visited my glory hole. Gotta scoot, that's from Doug's microphone shadow.
Doug's microphone shadow.
P.S. I've always said the Fats framed Lee Harvey Oswald. The only way the magic bullet works is if it was greased up from the sweat of a fat. Lee Harvey's body was very taut and rewarding.
That's a new take. That's a brand new take to the whole assassination story.
I like what Jackson brings to the show, but please don't let him come in the studio anymore. The next time Iggy stays home with a fake injury or illness, just have Jackson and KG share that cramped little kennel you call a production booth. It's not fair to make us dumpy body losers look at this young, tight, and rewarding body. It's like you guys are just rubbing it in our faces. We get it. You're handsome and we're not. You're talented and we live sad, pathetic lives. You get to laugh for a living and our wives hate our guts. It's not cool. On most days I can handle it when it's just Tim, Plowsy, and Doug on camera looking like male models. Adding in a fourth cutie is just too much. My wires are crossed because blood won't stop rushing to my genitals. Look at those wispy blonde tufts peeking out the side of his navy blue cap, just daring me to rip off his hat and run my fingers through his luscious locks. How can I concentrate on work when the only thing I can think about is seeing how far I can shove my tongue down Jackson's throat?
Oh!
I'm dying for him to let me caress his 5 o'clock shadow and indivisible mustache with my stubby little pincers.
Invisible, I meant to say.
Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't think Berksy even knows he's doing it, but sometimes he's absent-mindedly twirls his hair while Tim is talking, and it gets me so horny. What I wouldn't give to be reincarnated as a Hubbard microphone on the off chance that Jackson's lips might brush up against me for even one brief moment. When you're falling asleep tonight, I hope you know that I'll be using today's show to take myself to Pleasure Town.
You know, that's
a JV golf coach right there.
I like that one a lot.
And finally, the
JV
TMA
golf
sick
coach.
day tracker checks in on January 18th with Iggy's first many sick days in 2024 after making it for the first 11 shows.
Big 11.
After making it for the first 11 shows of the year today, the streak ended. Possibly because he's hoping we all forget about the DNA for pay scheme that he's having second thoughts about. Despite not being president, he was able to contribute, not with his DraftKings lineup, but with an 11-month-old anecdote about how during the Jamaica flight he played golf rival with the sound on like he's the young child of an ill-prepared parent. He's a horse's ass for doing that!
Oh.
I've been disappointed in Jackson before, absolutely I have, on many occasions, never to this extent. He claims to be a big Parker Posey fan based on her role in Dazed and Confused, but he's never seen Best in Show or Waiting for Guffman. That's like being a fan of Brad Pitt based on True Romance, but you've never seen Seven or Fight Club. But you're a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio based on Growing Pains, but you've never seen Inception or The Wolf of Wall Street. Parker Posey is not even a main character in Dazed and Confused. She's got one big scene where she's berating a bunch of incoming freshmen in a hazing ritual, and then has barely any lines the rest of the movie before she inevitably vomits at the Moon Tower. I suspect Jackson has a berating kink and rewatches the hazing scene in Dazed and Confused each night during his scheduled emptying before burying his head in the pillow while he dreams about being pegged by Parker Posey. Wipe that face off your head, bitch. That's from Buck Swope.
That's one of Parker Posey's lines.
Buck Swope with a nice little email
That's
today.
right, for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. What you got?
I kind of like the one there at the end. I'm going to go for Buck Swope.
It's, to me, and I liked Buck Swope's email, to me, it's the calcify the year.
God, I like them both. I put to the test. Plock, where are you going?
I don't want to sway.
Yeah, that's smart.
Unless you-
God, that's shrewd. This guy's shrewd.
Unless you're passing it to me.
No. I feel an obligation. I think I enjoyed enough. Hey, fellows, as you know, my New Year's resolution is to regrow my foreskin.
Yeah.
I go calcified ear.
Damn it, Lucas!
See, that's where I went.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah, that was a great line.
That's what won it today. Jackson and I win today because we're going down the hallway. There was a good one in The Most Devastating Sports Loss of Your Life was sent in by the Hunchback of Uncastle, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, I do like that too.
Yeah, so I think that might be the direction we go with this program. It's Balloon Party. Switch on over to the YouTube channel over there. They won't be happy, but it's fine. It's the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. And then, Jackson, I'll be back on the YouTube TMA channel at 11:10, 11:15 with QFTA. Send your emails in for that. Anything's welcome. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Time for us to go. KG and O-Town, I'd be on standby tomorrow.
I'm ready and willing.
Yeah.
Okay,
for the Plowhawk, for KG and O-Town, filling in for the ill Ken Strode, for Jackson Burkett in studio today for the ill Ken Strode. For our other Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Urban Dictionary.